right, y'all. So, just give me 1 second to get some of this stuff together, and we're going to get started. All right? All right. So, I'm going to post on my Instagram. I have to use my old phone to tell everybody that we're on YouTube right now. So, they can come on over. All right. So, hold tight, y'all. On YouTube, come on over. Link is in bio. Great. So let's just get some of this wrestling stuff out the way, shall we? All right. Stuff we found out today. Most definitely, I'm going to cover. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because it really doesn't need coverage like that. So we're going to just dive right into it. Okay. WWE made some personnel releases today. Now a lot of people got upset and were mad again. And to be honest with you, it should have been expected. I warned you some months ago that this was going to happen. There were going to be personnel behind the scenes who were going to be cut as well. That is a part of the restructuring process. That is all how you downsize your company to a smaller entity and work with smaller groups. And that's exactly what WWE is doing at this point. Do I think they should have got rid of Regal? I wouldn't have. I think Regal is a very integral part of WWE. He should have been kept. But it is what it is. I'm pretty sure William Regal doesn't take it personally. He understands how business works. They also got rid of a couple other people like Timothy Thatcher. And there was an NXT cut in that round of cuts. It came in the form of one of the members of Diamond Mine. I believe, I can't remember his nationality for sure, but I know that he was the member of Asian descent in the group and he was cut. You also had Timothy Thatcher, like I said, Ryan Katz, I believe, and Road Dogg Jesse James was also cut from NXT 2.0. Let me put up here the info. So Sean Ross Sapp, as well as several other bloggers and journalists, put up these tweets today to announce WWE's, I guess you could say downsizing since it's personnel. This is a downsizing issue. It says, and I quote, WWE issued Fightful a statement saying, with the continued evolution of NXT 2.0, we've decided to part ways with some of the staff based in our performance center. We thank them for their many contributions throughout the years and wish them the best. They said these cuts were not on the talent side, but they did get rid of, let me see if I can see his name on here. Okay, see, I don't have his name up here. They did get rid of one of the members from Diamond Mine. So there was one NXT cut that was a part of the actual show. Okay. Hey Tiff, how are y'all doing today? I got my account hacked, so my day been not so good. I'm sorry to hear that. You have to take extra precautions when you're online. Make sure you use a VPN. And also make sure your password is something that is a little bit more difficult for people to get. and try to be a little bit more cautious with your social media. That's really all that you can do when it comes to that. The hacking stuff happens, so you're gonna have to take extra precautions to protect yourself and your information. All right. Hello, Aaliyah. Hello, JSAV. My day was great. Thank you for asking. I got my COVID test back today and it was negative, so praise the Lord. Hello, Joey. How are you? Hi, Hiram. I already spoke to Aaliyah, and then we got Brandy. Hi, Brandy. All right, so this was the official tweet from Sean Ross Sapp at Fightful. He essentially just gave you all the names of the people who were let go by WWE. Scott Armstrong is an older guy in WWE. He's been there for quite some time, and he was let go. As I said before, you had Road Dog, Jesse James. There was a coach, H. Steele, and then there was a writer, like I said, Ryan Katz. They also got rid of Timothy Thatcher. Timothy was a trainer backstage and a coach for some of for the NXT superstars and some of the soon to be superstars in the PC, and they got rid of Thatcher. Personally, I would have kept Thatcher. Thatcher is an amazing talent when it comes to training. He has some of the best technical skills in the world next to Drew Gulak, especially in their company. He's one of the best. I would not have gotten rid of Timothy. I would have kept him. He's an integral part in training these people, and I think they should have let him stay there. But that's just me and my own personal stuff. But here is the other ones that were actually cut. Danny Birch is another one who was gotten rid of. We haven't seen Danny Birch on TV in a while. Orny Lurkin either. So I wouldn't suspect either of them to stick around much longer. I'm surprised that Danny Birch lasted this long, to be honest with you. And that's not me trying to shade him or be disrespectful about the man actually, staying in WWE, because he was employed by them. I'm talking about the fact that he's been omitted from all these rounds of cuts, knowing that he's been injury prone often and he's older, and most of the time he's the one who's getting injured in the group over Oni. Timothy Thatcher, again, like I said, I wouldn't have got rid of him. And the guy's name is Hideki Suzuki. I think that's how you say his name. I apologize if I am butchering this man's name, but I at least wanted to attempt it. So, he was cut, and he was a member of Diamond Mine. That was really the only person that I remember that was seen on television and let go from WWE in NXT. Danny Birch hasn't been on TV in months, so to me it's really it's really not that big of a deal. Hi, Quan. Hello. Yay, long live our benevolent ruler. Our benevolent. Thank you. I forgot to take my melatonin today, and I'm going to retaliate by gracing all of you. Oh, thank you so much, Rico. We love you for that. I'm cool with being graced by your presence. All right, so that's what happened in WWE. Really nothing new, and it's really nothing to get mad over. This should have been expected. Like I said, this is what happens when you're restructuring a company and changing. You make massive cuts and changes, and eventually, maybe later on down the line, as the company grows and does better, some of these people may be rehired and reconsidered. You never know. This happens all the time. I said this before, and I'll say it again. Back in 2010, 2011, WWE had a massive release of superstars, and they cut that roster down to a small amount. They were running 2 shows at the time, if I recall, right, Jared? They were separate rosters. Raw had their own roster, and SmackDown had theirs, and they still were able to keep the brand separate and do what they needed to do, but they cut about 2/3 of that roster that they had, because there were some people that was back in 2009 that were on in WWE that haven't been there in years. You know what I'm saying? So first of all, everybody freaks out about these cuts, and I understand, rightfully so, with some of them. But I don't believe that all of these cuts are permanent. I think they're a temporary fix to a long-term problem. And I think eventually when the world kind of gets back to some normality, especially with this Rona bitch running around, when we finally get back to some normality, then we can have maybe some people come back and WWE can start to grease some wheels and pray and pave some bridges to bring people back. Because if I had it my way, I would do everything in my power to make Keith Lee feel like he was a commodity. I would get on my hands and knees and beg him to come back. I really would. Him, Mia, I would go to Scarlett and Cross the same. They would be booked and they would be our next set of stars ushering in the next era of WWE. I would not let them walk like that. But that's just me. Let's see what else we got to talk about today. So Ciampa tweeted out his thank you tweet to all of the fans. He had a very good match with Braun Breaker last night. Braun Breaker is your new NXT champion. Braun Breaker beat Ciampa, the old guard, and he is now the one who is holding all the gold. So now everybody in NXT that is holding championships are all new people. Carmelo Hayes is the unified, undisputed champion in North American champion, and he is the Cruiserweight champion. I'm curious to see if they make a new belt and call it something else. I don't know what they're going to do, but for now, Carmelo is holding 2 titles. He's the only dual title holder besides our benevolent Mr. Keith Lee in NXT, and they both were black men, and that's how you do it. Okay, now, so I'm curious to see if they're going to have a new belt design and what they're going to call the belt, and if they're going to make the North American Championship defunct, and if they're going to make the Cruiserweight Championship. Obviously, the Cruiserweight Championship is going to be defunct for now. I'm very curious about what they're going to do. Moving on from there, Toxic Attractions, Mandy Rose, she retained her title last night in probably one of the worst matches of the night. No, it was. It was one of the worst matches of the night. A lot of people did not like it, and a lot of people are starting to sour on Mandy. I didn't think she was gonna. I was behind Cora Jade, but after seeing her performance in the ring as well, I think Cora needs a bit more time before she could even be considered for a champion. And I think Raquel's time has passed as champion. So I should have known better when it came to Mandy in this triple threat that she would go over on both of them. With all that being said, I'm very curious as to who is going to take that title off of Mandy now. More than likely, which I can't remember who said it. Somebody said it in one of my lives, and I want to give them props. But hold please. There we go. I can't remember who said it in my life, but somebody said they felt like Mandy was going to lose her title at a major takeover, and I agree. I don't know who it's going to be up against. But if I had it my way, I'd give it to Indy Hartwell. I'd pull her from this tag team with Persia, and I would let her be champion for a little while, or I would give it to Dakota. They're both there. Let one of them run as champion for now. And you can pull Raquel and Io Shirai up to the main roster because it's time for them to go. It's been way past their prime for them to go. But with all that being said, New Year's Evil was a decent pay-per-view. I was not disappointed. The first match was Carmelo Hayes versus Roderick Strong, and Carmelo Hayes and Roderick Strong had a beautiful matchup between the two of them. It was awesome. I loved it. I watched it, and the funniest parts was Trick Williams. He is hilarious. I am so glad that he finally came into his own because he is hella funny, bro. Like, he is hilarious. All right, so let me get to some of y'all comments in here. Okay, out of all the rounds of cuts, this is the one that makes sense the most, sans Regal. Right, I agree. Oh my God, we're not gonna have Regal to announce War Games and do cool stuff. Well, he didn't announce War Games last year either, love. So it's nothing new, unfortunately. while I'm talking to y'all, I'm going to go ahead and get this podcast uploaded. I really want you guys to listen to our podcast tonight because I'm going to have it uploaded tonight. I need you guys to hear us out on this podcast and really hear what we're saying because we talk about some real stuff in there. And I really need people to hear what we're saying. Let me go back to Rico's comment. It says, I don't care what anyone says when they get to when they get on their high horse, I'm still shooting to be in WWE one day. They may chew me up and spit me out, but they'll elevate me regardless. That's a very good way of looking at it, and it's better than, always thinking the worst, because the biggest and the baddest have fallen, and WWE is the only one who's still standing after all the dust clears every single time. It's not to say that they're protected. It just means that they have been able to withstand those storms. Dad's calling you.
Yeah.
Toasted attraction are hitting like moldy bread. I can't with you. So Elias referred to a little meme that I recreated on my Instagram page. You can look down on the banner right here in the video, and you can go to my Instagram at Site Design TV too. You can check out the reels that I've been posting lately because they're fun, they're quick, and I don't have to have a lot of conversation in them. I kind of missed the 1 minute video, so I was like, I'm gonna start using my reels again, and they've been picking up a lot of steam, so I kind of have fun with it. You guys should go check it out. And I don't know why, but a lot of people get very much in their feelings when I tease and and have a good time, but it's only with specific people. It's very much the beautiful people or the Beckys and the Charlottes. They get very upset. They're very angry that I poke and prod at these people. But it's the characters I'm talking about. You don't get mad when someone calls Olivia Pope a hoe and be like, why would you say that about Kerry Washington? We're not talking about Kerry Washington. We're talking about Olivia Pope, and Olivia Pope is a hoe. That's the truth. That's not nobody lying. Now, it could be different if you was sitting up and you was like, Nene Leakes is a slut. Then you could be like, damn, you ain't have to call Nene no slut like that because you talking about Nene Leakes. You're not talking about a character she's portrayed in any TV show or film. You're not talking about that. You know what I'm saying? You got these clothes by this door and it won't close. Anyways, so that was the helicopter thing, so my bad. Jay said, I said Manny was going to lose at a main takeover. It was Jay, so I got to give him props because he did say that, and I remembered him saying that, and I didn't brush you off. I was just saying it's possible for her to lose at a takeover, and I agreed, but I had an inkling that some weird shit was going to go down today in that on New Year's Evil, and it was more like the match was terrible other than anything else. Anyways, I think Io and Dakota are both getting brought up, and Raquel will be brought in after Mania. I mean, that's fine. Not a bad idea to have Indy dethrone Mandy. I wonder if they'll actually do it. I would love to see Indy derail Mandy. Like, I swear that would be fucking epic. Indy is still a part of NXT, and she's the new girl. Like, she could be your next set to usher in. You've got Persia. Persia's a powerhouse. She is perfect. I haven't seen Persia fuck up not once in the ring. She's pretty damn solid. And I'm like, if you just build up Persia, you can have a better aspect of what you thought you were getting with Raquel in Persia. But we have to wait and see what they're going to do. I hope that they somehow Indy is put into title contingency somewhere down the line and she gets that belt. I would love to have Kaylee Ray take it off of her. I like Kaylee Ray. I want Kaylee Ray to be champion at some point. But I want Kaylee Ray is, to me, I think Kaylee Ray should be moved. I don't think she should be in NXT anymore. She needs to be on the main roster, wreaking havoc on the main roster. They need to let her be a heel on the main roster. They need to let her go after somebody like Becky or Charlotte and give her the championship so you can have a fresh heel face running the women's division, and then you'll have fresh matchups. You can have shit with her and Shayna. You got stuff with her and Naomi if you put her on SmackDown. You can still do her and Charlotte for a little bit. Sasha's on SmackDown. Heaven forbid if Bayley goes back to SmackDown, you'll have Bayley and her. It's so much you can do with Kaylee on the main roster. I'd rather her go there than to be struggling in the NXT 2.0 in developmental when she doesn't need developmental. She needs to be moved now. Tiff, I saw a tweet and someone had said the kids' premature debuts on the main roster because you get to see the evolution and the character build of those wrestlers. What's your take on that? I agree, but I would rather my wrestlers at least have basic wrestling skills. Tiffany Stratton is one of those girls who is not ready. She is not prepared for television. If this show was on a streaming service like Peacock, I wouldn't have a problem with that. But it is embarrassing to put your superstars out there and they're not ready. They're not ready to go. They're not prepared. You want them to be able to wrestle. And Tiffany had massive mistakes that you could visibly see. The casual fan and an avid wrestling fan, we all saw her big mistakes. Massive mistakes. Miscalculating moves. No ring awareness. Barely could get a move off. It was awful. She needs to be retrained. I don't know who trained her, but they need to go back to the drawing board with her. And I'm not a big fan of her character, but Nicole convinced me that there needs to be a wide variety of characters, and I agree with her. She's right. While I don't like her character, she needs to have something in the background that pulls her in. She can't just be pretty and be a gymnast. You have to have something. And right now, I don't see anything for me where I would be like, she's valuable, I'm going to keep her. At least that's just my personal assessment. Trick had me weak, and I'm like, Trick, close your mouth. He looked like somebody's proud auntie, as Kenny would say. He looked like somebody's proud auntie, as Kenny would say. Smiling at Carmelo Hayes. He took me out. That Trick reaction looked like a new pre-K kid just letting go of their mom, their partner's hand, and is distraught while crying. Child. That was the highlight of my night when I just sent that in the chat when Mandy flew in. Who do you think is winning the triple threat match next week? Doudrop, Bianca, or Liv? The winner gets Becky at the Royal Rumble. Oh, so they've made it into a triple threat match with Piper, Bianca, and Liv. The smart thing to go would be to go with Bianca. But they may throw a curveball and give it to Piper. It really depends on what you want to do inside the Rumble. If you want the Rumble to be worthwhile, you need some of your bigger stars in the Rumble. To start off fresh with a new feud, though, with Becky, especially with Piper, it doesn't make any sense because Piper's a heel, and unless Becky's going to be going anti-hero soon, it won't work for Becky. Becky's a heel. She needs to stay one for the time being. And at this point, I would literally, I hate to say this, but I would give that match to Bianca because even though Liv had a couple chances, just like Bianca did, Bianca is more entertaining with Becky than Liv is. Liv is like, it's like seeing your little sister climb up the mountain and she's like, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. And she keeps falling. Bianca's climbing and she's got the cleats. She got everything she needs. And the only reason why she keep falling is because Becky keep cutting her rope. Liv is falling because Liv isn't up to par. Not because of her match quality, because she's okay up against Becky in the ring. I'm not shitting on her that way. Promo-wise, Becky keeps... Oh, my God. Is that the family group chat?
Kevin.
Okay. Promo wise, Becky keeps going in the same direction with Liv, and it's just a constant circle. It doesn't do anything. And at this point, if you're not going to go any further or change up, then there's no point in her wrestling you again. Yeah, Becky keeps cheating. We all keep seeing that, but that doesn't change the fact that no one wants to look at y'all. No one wants to watch y'all promos back and forth. No one wants to see that. What about Kaylee Ray? It's funny that Persia's the cleanest, considering she's greener than most of the girls in NXT. She only been wrestling since 2017. And that's the thing. She's very good, though. She is very good. They can give Saraya a chance at the NXT Women's Championship. Saraya has to go and get her visa together. Or work, stuff. That's what she... Are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not joining the call. Anyways. I wouldn't put it on Saray that quickly. I honestly would give it to Indy, or I would give it to Dakota or Indy. I really would. Dakota could enter the Rumble and still be champion. I don't see why not. They would need her, but I would have Dakota be champion. She could wrestle if she wanted to do the Rumble too. I would put her in the Rumble too. But I would give that belt to Dakota, hands down. Or I would give it to Indy Hartwell. I think Indy Hartwell having it is a better move than giving it to somebody like Saray, who we haven't seen in months. And it's not her fault. It's just we haven't seen her in months. Nobody else is built up enough in the women's division to be considered for the title outside of Indy and Dakota. Now, they was like jumped the gun and gave it to Mandy, which is, it wasn't fine. I won't say it's fine because it wasn't. Is it true that Alexa is returning next week? I don't know. I haven't heard that rumor. I keep seeing stuff about Bliss, but I don't know if she's returning next week. I don't know. Because Piper was being a little whiny baby in Sonya and Adam's office. Okay, so I saw that part. Hold, please.
Genetics.
Drink. Headshot. Drink. Sit down. Drink. Stand up. Drink. Pass out. Drink. Wake up. Drink. Bed it. Drink. Bed it. Drink. Drink. Headshot. Drink. Sit down. Drink. Stand up. Drink. Pass out. Drink. Wake up. Drink. Bed it. Drink. Drink.
Genetics.
Drink. Headshot. Drink. Sit down. Drink. Stand up. Drink. Pass out. Drink. Wake up. Drink. Bed it. Drink. Bed it. Drink. Drink. Headshot. Drink. Sit down. Drink. Stand up. Drink. Pass out. Drink. Wake up. Drink. Bed it. Drink. Bed it. Drink.
Genetics.
Headshot. Sit down. Stand up. Pass out. Wake up. Bed it. Bed it. Headshot. Sit down. Stand up. Pass out.
It should be back within 72 hours.
Well, he
Smooth with the rhyme, 5 years plus doing musical grind. Fuck hip hop and beautiful grind. I compose unusual lines. I'll talk with a 9, that's 5, 6, 7, 8. Let me demonstrate. They need lifts, but this one elevates. They act stiff, but this one penetrates. Like heavyweight.
musical grind, beautiful grind,
Heavyweight.
usual nine.
Like heavyweight. London, I wander my jeans, I'm a conjurer. North, east, south, and west, I'm a wanderer. Think before I move, I'm a ponderer. Impose my will on them all, I'm a conqueror. War me, better off death for the opera. Couldn't see my steps with binoculars. Till I'm prosperous, no to react like phosphorus. I said these when I gas. Helium, drop that bar in a wheelie bin. Said he's strapped, but I'm not believing him. Said he's trapped, but I'm not believing him. If I was you, man, I wouldn't be seen with him. Embarrassing, if he talks, I'm slapping him, grabbing him, then kidnapping him. Now they only see him on the news like they vote, I delegate weight. Who wants to war with a region? Beat the beat on streets and decent. Way too sick for the water of streamers. Subway killer, pasta for dinner. Tweet, bear twits on my Twitter. Catch back in these black, calls on my river. Sweet MCs, we bounce to the figure.
All right, y'all. Sorry, I had to take care of some family stuff. Okay, so let me get back to these questions. Okay. See if you had me rolling when you was roasting that security hair, and then when you posted it, when you paused it, that man's hair was sus. I had to post it. So I got the best thing for WWE going into WrestleMania. Okay. I think they should need to rebuild Saray. They really dropped the ball on her. I mean, right now putting her in a match with building her up is the best thing they got going right now. It doesn't make sense for her to be immediately put in title contingency after she's been off TV for so long. It's the truth. Liv didn't train to climb the whole mountain. I would give the match to Liv and save Bianca for Becky for Mania because that can be a big rematch. While I'm not mad about that, I don't think that I wouldn't. I don't know. Unless Bianca gonna beat her in 10 seconds, I'm not doing it. Champion versus champion at WrestleMania. Brock versus Roman. After that, in the brand split. Well, you're late because somebody already said that in my live about 2 weeks ago. I believe it was B. Jordan Brandon. And I personally said that they more than likely will end the brand split and it'll start with those championship titles. So while your idea is okay, it is late because several people, including myself, have already said it. Me personally, I don't need the brand split to end, but I can understand why they would do it. I don't need to see Brock versus Roman for the championship, but I'm pretty sure if that's where they want to go with it, that's fine. I don't really care about that. That's something y'all want to see. I don't really want to see that again. I saw it at Crown Jewel. I don't need to see them wrestle again personally. As far as ending the brand split, like I said, don't mind the company having two champions and all of that. And quite frankly, I think it's fine. I think if you combine those belts, and unless you're gonna keep the feud separate on separate shows, you're gonna be seeing a lot of the same shit over and over again. And in fact, you're gonna see a lot more people fighting for the same title over and over again. While y'all keep putting this into the atmosphere, when it actually happens, I don't want to see nobody complaining, because what you're going to get is the same people vying for the same title. You're not going to get a Bobby Lashley going after the WWE Championship, whereas on SmackDown, let's say Big E gets traded back to SmackDown, you'll be able to have Big E as champion on SmackDown. You're not going to get that. You're going to have Big E, Bobby Lashley, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Roman, Brock, and everybody vying for one championship. One. So just remember, this is what you asked for. You can't bitch and complain because they keep booking the same people when it happens. Because when y'all do, I'm going to tell you to remember this conversation. That's all I'm going to say. Was it Ember NXT champ when the first women's Royal Rumble happened? I don't remember, Jalen. It is possible, babe, but I don't remember. We haven't had the NXT Women's Champ enter the Rumble since Ember in the inaugural one. Oh, she was in there as champion. Doesn't mean it can't happen. It just means that they can do it. There's a Alexa's journey back to Raw happening next week on Raw. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, y'all, it's the musical stylings of the one, the only, the freshest, Nay Too Fresh. AKA Purdy Legs if you're nasty. I can't. Do you think they should put Lash Legend on NXT 2.0 at this moment? I think at this point, if you could put Tiffany's ass on NXT 2.0, then Lash Legend could be there. Amari's going to be on there next week, which I really like because they're finally giving her time on the show and pushing the talent that is stronger. I wouldn't have put Tiffany Stratton in that match. Wendy Chu is just fine. Wendy is great in the ring. She'll do okay in that match with Persia and Indy, Casey and Kaden and Amari. That's going to be a cute little match between the six of them. I wouldn't have put Tiffany in that match because she's not ready. She is not prepared. I would not embarrass my company like that. What is Alexa gonna do when she come back? That same BS with the doll. Well, if you don't like it, don't watch it, love. I mean, there's a lot of characters I don't like. I don't like Bobby Lashley character, and I I just don't watch him. The only reason why I post about him is because they asked me to. Everybody asked me to do the commentary, and that's the only reason why I post about Bobby Lashley, and I'm asked about him. I don't really care what she does. If she comes back, great. She'll fill out the roster. She's a former 5-time champion. So that is somebody that you need on your roster at this point. And if it were my way, I'd send the girl to SmackDown. I would not put her on Raw. I think she needs to go to SmackDown and fill out that roster on SmackDown. I wouldn't keep her on Raw, but they can do whatever they want. Lash Legend is fine where she is. And to be honest with you, whether she goes back to Goddess or not makes no never mind to me. She can do whatever she wants to do. I didn't have a problem with her her dark character. Everybody else did, but I didn't. And if I was in NXT, I would start introducing some of these new before the Women's Dusty Cup tournament. She needs to go back to the old Alexa. Goddess Alexa, no thank you. NXT Black and Gold died last night. This is the new NXT 2.0. It's going to be whack. Like I said, you don't have to watch it. It's very interesting to me. There was a time where the NXT Black and Gold was severely green too, and only certain people were watching it. It's not meant to be for the people who were watching NXT. I don't understand why that's very hard for people to comprehend. So let me make it clear. NXT 2.0 is not for you if you are hammering for the old ways of NXT. If you are looking for NXT Black and Gold to be what you watch when you watch NXT 2.0, you have already set yourself up for failure. Just because it doesn't fit your narrative of what you think is good does not mean that it is terrible and it's whack and it shouldn't be on TV. It just means that that's not something you like. The show is hit or miss on occasion. I will readily admit that. Most of the time, NXT is middle of the road. The matches are great. Sometimes the promos are a little iffy, but they're feeling their way out. You have to give them time to get there. Just like y'all used to tell me about AEW. Give them time. They'll get there. Mm-hmm. Same thing I'm going to say to you. If you don't like it, don't watch it. I don't like it, so I don't watch it. Just don't watch it. If you want to watch NXT, go watch the old episodes of NXT. That's NXT Black and Gold. You can say the same thing about the main roster right now. The main roster is no longer Ruthless Aggression or Attitude Era. It died too. At some point, you have to change. You have to evolve. You will either roll with the changes or leave them. It's totally up to you. But the rest of us, some of us are okay with it. Not everything is going to turn out and be perfect 100% right out the gate. There are some kinks that got to be worked out. I don't think WWE handled it the best way, but I do think that they did the right thing by switching the NXT back to this pseudo-developmental thing and not making it its own entity. It wasn't going to survive that way. Just letting you know. Anyways, Lily was ripped into pieces. Who knows what's going to happen? NXT Black and Gold was bleeding viewers and growing stale. The revamp was done so that it wouldn't be ran into the ground. Well, WWE needs to cut the brand split and just go back to regular WWE. What do you think this is? This is a new bubblegum flavor? What is regular WWE? What do you mean? What is that? Okay. Sir, what crack is you smoking? Not staying on topic. Seriously, NXT is trash now. Watch the takeovers. Get a name change. I'm just going to ignore your comments. I generally don't care. Well, Rico, if Alexa comes back as the goddess, but like darker, what if she has a Finn Balor type character? She can bring out the demon when she needs. I mean, that's cool. Whatever. I don't care how she comes back. She just needs to come back. So many autocorrects. Oh my God. It's really not. Just say you hate change and move on. AEW just lost one of their best tag teams. What do you mean? Who left? So we are going to get rematch after rematch after rematch. Tell me who else on SmackDown can fight Roman. Who else on SmackDown can fight Roman? Build somebody up to do that. That's what matches are for. And that's what the draft is for. It's not hard for you to find someone to fight Roman. If they decide to take the title off of him, which they will at some point, it's fine. Is it plausible? No, but it wasn't plausible for Seth Rollins to beat fucking Brock Lesnar at that pay-per-view a few years back, but he did, and he did it at the beginning of the damn show. Everybody thought that Brock was gonna win because that's how they built Brock up. So what's the difference between Brock Lesnar's title reign and his loss at Mania, and what could possibly happen with Roman and him at Mania? Don't make it seem like Roman just can't be beat and nobody is capable. Because when Seth went up against Brock Lesnar, he was getting his ass kicked every week. Every week leading up to that match. He didn't get not one time over on Brock Lesnar. And then he beat him at Mania on the grandest stage of them all. So don't act like it's not possible to build somebody up to take out Roman. Jesus. I fucking can't with everything. Everyone wanting the brand split to end is literally the only thing keeping new-ish people in circulation. So if there's nothing new, it's the same shit day in and day out. Please tell me who's going to face the Usos now. Who's going to be the tag team champs after RK Bro breakup? Bitch, I don't know. I'm not really concerned about it like that. When I see who they decide to put up against them, I assess it by how it comes to me. I'm not trying to figure it out because that's not my job. I don't work for WWE. If I did, this wouldn't even be a fucking conversation. But since you keep bringing it up, the way that they work, obviously, that's not a concern of theirs either. But like I said, if you keep acting as if there's nobody that's going to be able to compete against Roman or the Usos, since you brought them up, and RK Bro, when last Monday, Alpha Academy beat them, the Street Profits are capable of beating RK Bro. Just because they got beat once don't mean they can't go back and get them again. There's another tag team on Raw as well. The Usos are not unstoppable. No team is. All they have to do is write the script so that it plays out correctly. Why are you acting like this sport is not scripted? You acting like it's not pre-decided. You acting like there's no way that they can make this look right so that they can take the championship off of them. When we've seen fucking Carmelo be the first woman to hold the Money in the Bank for the women. Stop playing with me. You know how this shit works. Hi, Tirza.
That is funny. That is hilarious.
Tiff, I cannot block Rated G. No, he can stay. I don't care.
That is funny.
Not for nothing. NXT 2.0 isn't hit for me either. It isn't terrible by any means. I just feel like there are no breakout stars. Like, everyone is on the same level. Everyone is on the same level. You're absolutely correct. Everyone is on the same level. Who can they build up? So we're not going to move on from this conversation. Okay. Ray Phoenix just broke his arm, and the Lucha brothers are out of action for now. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Really. Y'all trolls are really... I have a small live, and there's so many trolls in here. It's ridiculous. Since I wrote your birthday down on my calendar. Are this person and Marlon related? No. Marlon actually, no. Marlon is fine. I like to tease Marlon, but he's okay. Derek doesn't care for WWE, and he likes to argue back and forth about it. Me personally, I assess it as it comes to me. I'm not trying to look for 7 and 5 different matchups for Roman Reigns to go up against, because like I said, you can build up anybody to go up against him and make it look decent. That's not hard to do. They've done it before. You're acting as if this sport is not scripted, like it is not capable, and it is.
On the other side, it's in the front where the table used to be at down there. The one that CJ brought upstairs.
I'm aware of Carmelo's injury.
On the other side.
Hey y'all.
No.
Kayla. Hi Kayla. Thank you, Tears. What the I don't know how I'm supposed to say this.
Right.
I would say the same thing to Tears. If NXT 2.0 isn't something that you want to watch, then don't watch it. It's fine. Right. There's nothing wrong with that. I never say you were wrong in your assessment. I said don't watch it if you don't like it. That's what I said. Am I not coming in clear?
Apparently not.
Am I coming in clear? Is everybody understanding what I'm saying? Or are we having some misconceptions up in here? Because I clearly said, if you don't like it and it's not your cup of tea, that's fine. Don't watch it. Black and Gold has been gone for quite some time. It is what it is. They've changed direction. They haven't built up a star to make them number one at the top mega star yet. They haven't done that. That's on WWE. And if that doesn't keep you interested in watching NXT, you don't have to watch it. 100% don't watch it. If you can't wait for them to build up a star or it's not something that you want to watch, that's fine. It's okay. I'm not saying you're wrong in your assessment. I'm saying don't watch the goddamn show. I actually think the opposite of NXT 2.0. I think they're really focusing on getting characters and personalities over as opposed to ring work, and that's what's going to carry this class. Great. I'm glad we're on the same page. Yes, NXT 2.0 is more so for characters. But even with the Black and Gold brand, there were so many stars in that group that you knew, at least I did, were going to be stars like Seth, Roman, Charlotte, Sasha, Bayley, and Kevin. I knew they... I heard you, Tiff. Also, almost everybody's birthday is written down except for Rico's. Honestly, they need characters more than anything. I think we're going to be mega stars. They have an it factor that I personally don't see in NXT 2.0. That's fine. I'm not negating any of that. And I never said that Derek was wrong in his assessment of NXT. I said, if that's not something that you're seeing and it's not giving you what you need, don't watch it. I can't keep doubling back. And this is not directed to you, Terza. This is period. I have this conversation with him every fucking time. It gets to be annoying. I don't want to talk about this all day, every day. I get tired of it. I only answer the questions as they come to me. But he wants to go back and forth about the same shit over and over again, and I don't want to fucking do that. And I'm not going to. So I'm just going to keep telling you not to fucking watch it. Because it doesn't matter what I say. No matter who I run down, you're either going to laugh about what I'm talking about, laugh at the person that I'm assessing that I think can go up against Roman if they're built right, or you're going to act as if what I'm saying doesn't make sense to you, or you'll be passive aggressive and be like, okay, sure, whatever, you're right. And then we're going to move on. So why go through all the motions? Why go through this even in the first place? No, not doing that. If it's not giving what you think it's supposed to give, don't fucking watch it. That's it. Do you think Miko is losing her title tomorrow to Blair Davenport? Honestly, I haven't been following NXT 2K like I should have. NXT UK, I'm sorry, like I should have. So I don't know. I think Miko has been a great champion, and I think that I don't know much about Blair Davenport other than her name used to be Bea Priestley. And from what I hear, she's not exactly the nicest person, but I haven't seen her wrestle. I don't know anything about her. I know nothing about NXT UK. However, I would hope that if they do give it to Blair, that they end up dropping it sooner to someone else. NXT UK is another one that likes to have long title reigns. And me personally, I think 6 months, maybe 8 should be a maximum for your title reign, because you do have an issue with Roman being back into a corner. However, like I said, there are ways to get out of that corner and make it look plausible. It doesn't have to be a uphill battle for everybody. But WWE likes that underdog story bullshit, and I really wish they would get out of that and just make, if they're going to go realistic, which is what they have been quote unquote trying to do for the last couple of days, I would really hope that they would do it properly rather than pandering to all of us with this bullshit of them being some goddamn this small baby entity clawing its way up the big bad mountain of the bloodline and blowing through and finally being champion. It's like, all right, that's great. And while it's awesome and we all love it, I guess, well, I don't, but some people do. You can make it more realistic. And that's my issue. You've cut out managers, you cut out the aspect of fun when it comes to wrestling and made it all about the wrestling itself. And then you give out these long ass promos and repeat matches, but you're not assessing the situation effectively to make each feud worthwhile unless somebody like Roman is at the helm to control it more from his side than they do in WWE. So point is, I don't trust them enough with any title, and I don't really know. And it comes to Miko and Davenport, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I would hope that it's a good match, and whoever wins, it looks great. And that's all I can say about that. I really don't know. That was the first class. Wait, thank you, Tears, and don't drag me into this. You're not, so don't worry about it. One, that class started out going out. You then got the bland people. I'm just agreeing with you, Tirza. I'm getting y'all comments late, just so you know. So hold, please. I need to pull them in. Hold on, that's Deacon Williams. Yeah, I'm lost in these streets. Tirza said, "Now how the hell I get into it?" Wow, okay. No, there's no wow. We know that's where the conversation was going to go. I'm laying it out verbatim. That's how it goes every single time. If I give you a list of people that I think can be built up to go up against Roman, you're going to laugh. You've done it before. Or you're going to make it seem as though, oh yeah, well, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. You're going to brush it off. Why should I even entertain the idea of having a conversation when you're not going to hear what I'm saying to begin with? So I don't give a shit. I'm not going to do it. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to go through the motions and have a conversation with someone who isn't listening to me because they already have their opinion formulated. Why? Why should I do that? For what? What does that do? All that means is we're still sitting here arguing about the same shit. and you're still on your side and I'm still on mine. Whereas I hear what you're saying. You're saying you're tired of repeat matches. You don't like the new NXT 2.0 because most of the people there are not ready. They are not branded to be champions. They're not branded to be superstars, and you don't see that. I hear what you and Tirza are saying, and I don't disagree. But where we part ways is I want to see it play out to the end. And you don't. You want to sit and bitch about it 24/7 when all you have to do is turn off the fucking TV. That's the simplest way I can put it. Because I don't want to have this conversation with anyone who isn't going to hear what I'm saying. Then you're asking me to lay out people who could possibly go up against Roman. And I already know where this is going to go. And if you do what I know you're going to do, it ain't going to do nothing but piss me the fuck off. So instead of going there, I'm just going to tell you not to watch the shit. And if that is not sufficient enough for you, if that doesn't work out for you, fine. I don't have an issue with that. You can go find another live to sit in and spar with them about it. Ain't nobody taking WWE's side over nothing. I see the problems in NXT. I see the problems on the main roster, but I am still going to watch it. Some of the problems I can overlook, others I can't. So when I get to a particular part of the program I don't like, I mute it. I'm not always watching the show all the way through. Some parts of it I don't care for. And I'm not saying WWE is perfect either. I am saying I don't want to have this back and forth with you because you're not going to hear what I'm saying. And you're going to brush it off like what I'm saying is bullshit. So what am I talking to you about this for? What does that do for me? What does it do for you? Because you're not going to hear me. Oh, do not act surprised, sir. But then you say NXT 2.0 was whack. I didn't say that. She's not the nicest, but she's an okay wrestler. Okay. Right, because I got a bone to pick with you, D. Wow, okay, like you haven't been on your pessimist shit this whole time. Wait, this is D. Yes. This ain't gonna be nothing like Tirza, Alexis, or Nicole. So just know I'm coming. If that is him, yes, that is him. That's why I'm lost. What the fuck is happening? I'm recovering from COVID. I don't need this. Not to LOL at COVID because it's not a laughing matter. But you know what I mean. I did not know you had COVID, so I apologize, Tirza. But this is not directed at you, and you were not the problem. I understand what you were saying about NXT not having any megastars, any stars that are ready-made. They don't. These guys are coming straight from the PC and from tryouts. They're going to have to be built. They're going to have to be made. And we have to start to see the seed being watered and growing right before our eyes. And that's kind of the point of NXT 2.0. And I know that's going to be kind of a long haul for some of you. And it's like, I don't know if that's going to work. But Braun Breaker is a prime example of him being a possible mega star. He is one of the capables. He is one of the people, one of the pillars of NXT 2.0. He's where your groundwork is going to start. And that's where they have to put all their stock. And that's where they have to start making sure they pick their stars better going forward, but also training them better so when they get on television, they look like they're capable, they look like they have potential, and they look like they are stars before they even get there. When I saw Braun Breaker, I saw a star. Now, that may not be the case for everybody else, but I did. I saw a star. He started off a little rocky in the beginning, but it took him some time. The same thing with Carmelo Hayes. The same thing with Trick Williams. These people are not going to be ready-made people on NXT 2.0. It's going to take time for them to develop and get going. They're not coming from Ring of Honor and like Adam Cole and Daniel Bryan and Kevin Owens and the rest of the brood. These guys were already set when they got to NXT. The people we're looking at are being built from the ground up by NXT. And that's the difference. My apologies. All I'm saying is when I watch Raw or SmackDown, I would like to see fresh new matches and an exciting new storylines. That's all. That's fine. I don't have an issue with that. You live your best life. If that's what you want, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong for wanting that. But what we're seeing right now is what they're going to give. They're not going to change what they're going to do. You want to see the dream matches and random blood matches like you do in AEW. Okay, Tiff. Okay. Won't bitch about the same shit anymore. Just keep my opinion to yourself. Your opinion is not the issue. The issue is the merry-go-round. So I don't have a problem with you telling me your opinion. Because I can tell you right now, when I move into AEW, which I'm about to do, Tears is going to say what she says about AEW all the time. I never tell her, Tears, to shut the fuck up. And I'm not telling you to shut the fuck up. I'm telling you, don't ask me a question you don't want to hear the answer to. Because you already know what I'm going to say. You're aware of who is in WWE at this point. And this is what I want you to understand, because I feel like sometimes my delivery is going to piss you off. It's going to take you to a point. But at that point, I'm upset, so I don't care how it's coming out. I want you to hear what I'm saying and try not to brush me off. I want you to really listen. No matter who I say, it's possible for being built to go up against Roman. You are not going to accept it. And you know that. So that's why I'm not interested in having this conversation, because you are already set in where you are. You just want to be able to be proven right. So when I tell you, hey, Drew could be the next one, they could build up Drew. They can go back to Cesaro and build up Cesaro. Cesaro's got a very big pop and a big following. If they capitalize on it now, they could push Cesaro back up to where he was, if not bigger, and make him available to go up against Roman. Royal Rumble's coming. One of them could win the Rumble and go up against Roman for his title. It isn't hard to make somebody viable to go up against an unstoppable branded champion. Like I said, we have seen it time and time again. But you're going to write off what I'm saying because you don't agree, which is why I didn't want to have the conversation. That's what I'm talking about. If you want to talk about how you don't like what NXT is doing, that's fine. I can help you understand why they're doing it, like I just did with Tirza. But I'm not going to go into the conversation of NXT is a piece of shit. NXT is whack. Black and Gold is dead. Yes, it's been dead for quite some time, bro. And if you ask me, they were going to have to do something. Whether you like the change or not, it had to happen. A always do you want to hear some good news? Sure, Kayla. Hold on, please don't group me in with D. I still watch NXT 2.0. I watch it every week despite the fact that Grayson Waller looks like a yeast infection and I could get a rash by looking at him. No, Tirza, hear me out. I'm not looping you in with him. I understand your gripe. You two are two sides of the same coin when it comes to NXT 2.0. On one hand, you want to see mega stars. You want to see somebody who you think is prepared to move up to the main roster. And I don't disagree with that. And on the other hand, D wants a more streamlined show with NXT and WWE as a whole. He wants fresh matchups. He wants fresh champions. He wants new faces. You have the new faces in NXT 2.0, but they aren't meeting your requirements, and that's okay. I'm not upset at either of you for that. I'm upset with Derek because every time we have this conversation, it goes back to this. NXT is whack. WWE sucks. So my next question is always, why are you watching it if you hate it so? What is the problem? I don't understand how you can watch it if you hate it. It doesn't make sense to me. I wouldn't watch something that I hated. I can't, because I would lose interest in it. Once I lose interest in something, I'm going to turn it off. I do it all the time. So to be clear, I haven't lumped Tirza into anything. because both of them made separate conversations about NXT 2.0. I commented on Tears' comment and I went back to Derek's comment. So if it sounded like I was coming at you, I apologize. And Derek, I will apologize to you if it sounded like I was being a little hostile. But I get very frustrated with you because you have a hard time understanding what I'm saying, or you generally ignore it. Because like I said, it doesn't matter what I'm going to say. You're going to rebuff it either way, which is why I don't want to go there in this conversation. That's the reason why. So I want to be clear because I don't want anybody to feel like I'm attacking anyone. And I hope that you get better with your COVID, Tears. I really do. Let me get some of these comments and some of these bots out the way. Oh, so this is D for real. Yes. I'm so sorry that you got COVID, Tears, and me too. LA Knight is pretty good. I think Cameron Grimes could get through the whole through the moon to the moon thing. I think Cameron Grimes is great. Also, you're doing okay, Tears. That after the after effects aren't weighing on you too much, are they? I still watch the product. Do I think the Black and Gold brand was superior? In my opinion, yes. I just want 2.0 to be better than what it is. I wasn't thrilled about Braun Breaker beating Ciampa. But what I say about AEW is motherfucking true. Yes. Tears, I know I still can't believe I had COVID. Thanks, guys. I'm feeling much better, but I was really sick a few days ago. Sir, I do not like you. Oh my God. I am not reading that. I'm so glad you're better, Tears. Jesus. It's like laughing out loud, but damn at the same time. Yeah. Good. Glad you're feeling better though. Do you have brain fog? Good night. Glad you're feeling better. Tear, my step parents got COVID too. I'm sorry for your step parents, and I hope that they recover from COVID as well. And he runs away. My boyfriend has COVID also. He's doing better, but still feeling some effects. It's rough. I'm going to cook my first meal by myself on Friday with my mom helping me. And 2, WWE is returning to MSG on my B-Day, March 5th. Well, congratulations, Kayla. I hope you have a good time cooking with your mom. It's fun to cook. I think you'll enjoy it. Also, I'm glad you guys are getting WWE back at MSG in March. I also am having WWE come to my city. Hopefully, they won't go back to LA. But they are coming to Cleveland, and I am supposed to be going. I believe it is March 7th that I'm supposed to be going. So I got to get my outfit together and get my shoes, and I definitely got to get my hair done. And I'm taking all my people, and we're going in the loge. And hopefully Nicole can come this time because she missed my birthday. And I will maybe see if Nicole and Alexis can still come. If anybody else wants to come, you have to hit me up and let me know. Okay, so this is D. Yes, it was D. It was him. I get very frustrated, and I don't mean to be mean, but
I do.
I need people to understand it. I don't want to argue about the same things over and over again. When we have these conversations and we talk about the stuff, and people ask me questions, but I'm not sitting here. I don't care for AEW because it's not my cup of tea. There's a few wrestlers in AEW that I truly love and adore. Like, I love Hangman Adam Page. I think he is great. Sonny Kiss is so bomb in the ring. When I saw him wrestle for the first time, I was like, Jesus, like, this is fucking amazing. I love Ruby Soho and Adam Cole. Y'all know I ride for Cole all day long. But I can't deal with the chaotic nature of AEW, so I don't watch it. I don't watch it because I don't like it. And I don't sit and have conversations about AEW unless someone asks me about it. And y'all know that. That is my only gripe with him. And then, well, that's not true. Let me double back. The second part of it is he likes to get underneath my skin. He'll never admit it, but he does. And the way he does it, and what really pisses me off, is we'll have a conversation like we just did, and he will brush off what I'm saying, laugh at me, and that makes me angry because it insults my intelligence, and that is one thing you will not take from me. I don't like it. It's disrespectful to me, so I become very combative and angry. That's the only way I know how to explain it. That's why I cut that conversation off as quickly as I could, because I don't want to have that back and forth, because it didn't matter who I was going to name. He wasn't going to accept it. He wasn't going to accept it. Did he leave? Yes, he did leave, love. Also, that's super exciting for you, Kayla. I think that's great, Kayla. You'll have a great time. My mother and sisters have it also, but they're feeling okay. Jesus. I'll send you some photos of the food. Cool. I'm going to the show on the 5th also. You know Tears are going, baby. She don't miss a beat. Not a beat. If I had a car and money, I would go to. I ain't ever been to a wrestling show. Now he skated before I could speak. And I got good new Ember, a.k.a. Athena, will be making her wrestling return in my hometown in Baltimore. I'm so excited. You were way nicer than I would have been. He said I didn't run away. Just didn't want to keep negative energy in the chat. Just watching and listening now. That's fine. I hope that I can meet you one day, Tirza. Oh, cool. Okay, great. When she lets us in, I'll speak. I'm going to let you in a minute because I got to get to the AEW stuff. I've been in here for an hour and some minutes. Jenny haven't been seen on NXT UK in a minute. In my opinion, I think Jenny is going to NXT 2.0. Possibly. I wouldn't have a problem with that as long as they find a way to use her properly. That's all. I'm making a 1-pot creamy pesto chicken pasta. Oh, that sounds good. Oh, Rico, I figured out how much your recipe, the cheesy rice recipe I'm going to give you, it's only going to cost $31 for 4 servings of it. So you can make it like a meal prep, and it'll fit in like a 9 by 13 inch pan. You could buy us a really cheap metal pan to bake it in. I'm going to send you the recipe later on when I get it all typed out and stuff. But I'm telling you, it's very cheap. It's about $7 per portion. It's not expensive at all. All the ingredients are under $30 at the bare minimum. You can get store brand stuff to make this with. You don't have to get the name brand. It'll still come out good. And you'll be well under $30. Almost at $20 if you do it right. Yeah, I need to show and give my boyfriend a do-over. The show on the 28th was cool, but the show on the 5th is a super show. Oh, okay. But anywho, these Dewdrop theme be smacking. I don't listen to the themes when they come out, so I don't know if they themes are good. It's a super show, so all of my favorites will be there, so I really want to give him that experience. Oh, that's cool. If I see you at the show, you can always say hi, Kayla. Now, Kayla, you know Miss Girl sits at the front of the row, honey. She don't sit at the back. She sit at the front, okay? She be down at the front, almost 3 rows from the damn barricade. She don't be playing. Oh, let's fucking go. My brother takes me to the commissary to use his discount. Oh, I'm telling you, you'll be well under that price. And you can get double the chicken and use my chicken pot pie recipe too. And that'll also work. You might have to add a few ingredients to that, but you won't even break $100 with the recipes that I got. It's very, very inexpensive for this rice recipe. And I used to make it for Jared every week because he loved it so much. And he used to take it to lunch and he would eat it. He loved that rice recipe. I think I'm going to make it for you this week. But I used to make it for him all the time. If I do make it this weekend, I'll do a video and then I'll post it on my food page. That way you can see it for yourself. And that you won't have to wait in the DMs for a full recipe. It'll be right there where you can always look at it. You got me? All right. So let's move on because I got we got to move on to some fun stuff. And we got some other stuff to cover that's not so fun. So I'm preparing y'all now. This is about AEW. If you don't want to talk about AEW, you can just sit and listen like Dee is doing, or you can comment. Now, I'm going to be fair when it comes to this conversation, but I'm not going to mince no words because I don't like it. So I'm not going to be happy. And I may come across as defensive or angry, but just know it's not directed at anybody in particular except for Tony Khan. Okay? All right. Let me read Kayla's comment, and then I'm going to put up the stuff about Tony. I know how to cook, but as a helping hand. So Friday will be the first time that I am in charge of making food. So please wish me lots of luck. I'll need it. I think you're fine, Kayla. You have a really cool way of looking at things. You have a great attention to detail when it comes to how you maneuver. So as long as you follow the recipe, but if your mom gives you a little bit of hints to say, Kayla, you can put this in there or do that, try to listen. Don't be so hard on yourself and try to relax. That's the best thing I can tell you. All right? I'm sick of AEW always throwing at WWE. It's not even about that. Real talk. So AEW, both companies can exist. That's something that I want to be clear. But both of them have to do better. And in this case, AEW has to do better. More specifically, Tony Khan and his merry band of idiots have to do better. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so as soon as you said you were going to give me the recipe, I went to your cooking page ASAP. That tortellini mac and cheese recipe, I want to add some bacon, scallions, and tomatoes to it and smoke it. Bitch, don't be freaking my damn recipes and turning it into whole goddamn meals. You rude. But I like that in you, though. Shit. Adding shit to my damn recipe. I'm almost mad, Jen. I'm a little perturbed. A little upset. Let's get to AEW. I'm going to talk about that too, Tirza. Just hold tight, babe. You're welcome, Kayla. I'm going to talk about it. We're gonna get to Sunny kissing them. We are. But right now, we're going to get to... Let's talk about what happened. So, Jade Cargill is the inaugural TBS Women's Champion. Okay? She is the inaugural champion. She won it from... Her and Ruby Soho went at it tonight, and she won it. She's the champion. Now I think she's 23-0. She hasn't lost a match. Congratulations to Jade. It's really... No. No, because I'm like, damn, that sounds good. I ain't even think of that. I made some more this week, too. And my nephew, did he eat all of it?
Nuh-uh.
He was killing that shit. I think I put a little bit too much cheese sauce in that. Next time I'm going to hold back on the cheese sauce. But that bacon idea sounds really, really good. But if I make something like that, I can't have like no meat or nothing with it because me and AJ is trying to eat a little bit healthier. And we're trying to do better because we know better. You know what I'm saying? Oh, not a new wig. Not a new wig. But that recipe is very decadent. It is so good when you bake it. It tastes better in the cast iron skillet, Jared. I realize now that I need to put it in the skillet when I make it because it just tastes better. It brown better. It tastes better. I like it better. Okay. So let me get to Miss Girl here with Miss Jade. So Jade is your inaugural TBS Women's Champion. The belt is nice. I don't really like the light blue at the bottom on the belt, but it's okay. It's an okay looking belt. I'm not mad about the belt itself. So I'm going to have a better picture in here so you can see. The belt is okay. Tirza said her wig kind of stiff. I mean, yeah. It can be on occasion. Last time I saw Jade in the ring, it was a little tough, but you know what? It could be the color and the fact that she's not, or she's flat ironing it a lot, or whatever the case may be. She's the TBS champion. Congratulations to you, Jade. I heard Hangman Adam Page retain his title against Daniel Bryan, so congratulations to you, Paige. I'm really sad that Rey Fenix is out and broke with a broken arm. Also, even more sad that the tag team champions are down like this because I really like the Lucha Brothers. They're another team that I love in AEW. So I hope that he gets well soon. But with them being down, you would think that they would have to drop those titles. I don't know if they're gonna do that because AEW's rules are much different from the rest of the wrestling world. From what I noticed and what I've seen, they're very, very different. With all that being said, congratulations to her and to Paige and to everybody else who won the match on AEW. I didn't watch it, but I wanted to make sure I gave them props for winning their match. I also want to mention that New Japan is coming to Access. They're going to be following Impact on Thursdays, and they're going to be showing new shows. So if you have Access TV, you can finally watch New Japan on TV, on Access TV. Now, me personally, I don't have Access TV, so I've been missing a lot of Impact, which I'm kind of upset about because I really like Impact. Impact has storylines that I like, you know, the little crazy ones, the weird ones, the shit that make you go, what the fuck is this? The only thing I don't like is Moose, so I could give less than 2 fucks about what he's doing. But Impact is on Access TV, and so is New Japan Wrestling, and they come on every week on Thursdays. And I believe Wild Wrestling is getting ready to start coming back on as well. They used to come on Wednesdays, and they call it Wild Wednesdays. So we had that going. I just wanted to make sure I showed you guys that. And I also wanted to show you guys this. So Carmelo Hayes and Keith Lee, like I said earlier, are the only 2 dual champions in NXT history, and they both were Black people, and we can't be mad about that, okay? All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty here of what's going on. So recently, Big Swole came out on her podcast, which I highly recommend that after this live, you go and listen to her podcast, because it's imperative to understand the context and the entirety of the conversation and not cherry pick what you want to hear. In Fightful's defense, they didn't do anything wrong with what they put up on their article. What she said in the article wasn't offensive, it wasn't disrespectful, and it wasn't rude to AEW or to Tony Khan or Mega in terms of the owners of the company. She wasn't trying to say shit like, oh, AEW is a horrible company, they'll never succeed. She never said that. And I want that to be very clear, because the narrative around Big Swole in this whole conversation is that she 100% thinks there's no diversity in the company, and she thinks that AEW needs to improve and have a Black champion now. They need to have more champions and more people of color, and they need to diversify their portfolio because they're not diverse enough, and there's not enough people that look like her on television. While some of that was said, that was taken out of context, and that wasn't the entirety of the conversation. So we're going to have this conversation now. Big Swole literally bigged up Tony Khan at every moment she could. She told the truth about AEW and about how they've been booking their talent for the last couple of years and who's on top right now. Most of the people who are on top are white passing or white, and they all are men. The women who are at the top of the company barely get seen on television. It just started with Tay Conti and this street fight that they had, which, if you like it, I love it. But me personally, that street fight was whack. I didn't care for it. But if you liked it, that's great. I'm happy for you. Which this article came out from Fightful. Fightful was the only one to pick up on Swole's podcast on the call-in app on the Apple Store. And they pretty much took a snippet of what she said and was like, Tony Khan, I had this conversation with Tony Khan in my exit interview about diversity and about them being more consistent with booking the women so we have more time. Time is key. We don't get seen as often as we should, and the women need to be trained more. We need more training. We don't have a go-to person. She listed out all of her grievances and everything that she had an issue with, but she said in the end that she wanted AEW to succeed. She wanted AEW to succeed, and she wanted them to move forward in the way of giving them diversity in terms of their champions and who is seen on television. So if you want to see what she said verbatim, go to Fightful. Fightful has it. You can also go to her call-in. It's called, I think it's called Old Business. You can Google Big Swole podcast and it'll come up and it'll say Old Business. You can listen to it. She sounds like she's just giving Tony Khan rave reviews, and she's not talking bad about anybody. She literally just said her reasoning for leaving AEW to her lacked structure, and their diversity that they touted and promised in the beginning is not being given. And she was 100% correct. Now, Tony Khan took offense to this, and it makes me infuriated because Tony Khan knows what she meant. He's well aware of what she meant, but he took it and ran with it on purpose. And this is what he said. The top 2 AEW execs are Brown, me and Mega, Jade, Bowens, Caster, Dante, Nyla, Isaiah, and Mark Quinn all won on TV this month. And TBS title tournament has been very diverse. I let Swell's contract expire as I felt her wrestling wasn't good enough. This is where we had a problem, because Big Swole was one of the best female, if not one of the best wrestlers on your roster. And you can't convince me otherwise. And I never heard Swole say a bad thing about Tony Khan personally in anything that she was talking about on her podcast, but he made a direct attack on her personal capabilities, and that pissed me off. I don't like it. He has yet to apologize for it. He doesn't plan on apologizing for it. And that's where the firestorm started. It started with him, not with Swole. Everybody took sides. Everybody took sides and was like, oh, well, Tony Khan is right and we support him. Everybody that was on Tony Khan's side retweeted it, loved it, or whatever. And Will Hobbs' bootlicking ass came out and basically was telling everybody running down all the lists of what AEW has done for him, but no one was asking you, bro. That's the biggest point that I have. No one asked you that. No one asked you what Tony Khan did for you. No one asked you what AEW did for you. Now, don't get me wrong. Them being there for you in one of the hardest times of your life, of you losing your mother, that is important. And I'm glad that they were there for you for that. But that has nothing to do with what Big Swole was talking about. Absolutely nothing. What you said is counterproductive. Let's take a point from it. He said, now TK has put me in spots at the right time that meant something. Punk, Christian, Cage, Brian Cage, Hangman Adam Page, especially running in and saving Max. All of those times, it didn't get you nowhere. Are you in title contingency right now? I'll wait. Do you have a chance of winning the title at any point right now? I mean, any chance. Swole didn't say that AEW wasn't there for her. She also did not say that AEW isn't a good place. She said they lack structure and they need to work on their diversity. What's wrong with that? WWE still got to work on their diversity too. But the difference between WWE and AEW is that within the last 3 years, we've seen a surge of WWE champions that are not white. Throughout the pandemic era, before the pandemic era, most of the champions were people of color. If they weren't Japanese, they were Latina. If they weren't black, they were half black. All of the stuff that WWE has been trying to do to push forward and go better in diversity, that also has been translating into the back office, to which Stephanie has made it a point to put that out there so people can understand we're doing better to diversify our company in all aspects at every level, from the higher ups to the bottom. From the roadies to the superstars, to the producers, to the coaches, to even the ones who sit in the boardroom. And that's what she's talking about. The people who have a seat at the table, not the motherfuckers who are booking extras, not the motherfuckers who are running around here booking live events and being the tour coordinators. Not you, bitch, because you don't have no say-so on what's going on. She talking about all your EVPs, your whole boardroom, all of them are whites. Them They're a variation of whites. That's what she's talking about. She was more focused on the women's division because they don't get as much shine as the men. And she is absolutely right. One thing people have to start understanding is diversity doesn't always mean race. Diversity does not always equal race. So you have to stop correlating diversity with race. Okay? But what I didn't like specifically was that he went after her wrestling skill and acted as if she wasn't good, when just not even a few weeks before, he was praising her like she was the greatest thing since sliced bread. So I'm fucking confused. Now she ain't shit. And then nobody came out to defend her except for Leo Rush. He was the only one. And although he put out this kumbaya message afterwards, I still give him credit for defending the girl. Woman, apologies. She deserved to be defended. Because I'm sick of the narrative. And then what happened was an onslaught. And he fucking started it. It was an onslaught of just people coming in her DMs and attacking her. He don't understand the power that he wields. And he wields it recklessly. Because she was getting called all types of N-words. All types of black bitches. All types of shit in her inbox and on Twitter. And all you need to do is apologize. You need to apologize for insulting that woman like that. And he has yet to do it. He has yet to do it. And that's ridiculous. Hold on a second. Let me get some of y'all comments in here. The finish of the match was a botch. I gotta ask my stepdad how to smoke on a grill, because he used to smoke mac and cheese with applewood on his grill. Oh, that's cool. She botched the glam slam from the ropes. She got the stiff bop from the 2K Creation Suite. We got new tag champs in AEW. Jurassic Express beat them tonight for the tag titles. Oh, good for them. I'm glad for Jurassic Express. That's how Ray got injured. I need my moderators to block these bots that's coming in here, putting this shit in the comments. I just need y'all to block them. That's all. Her wrestling wasn't good enough. Wasn't Big Swole one of the first women signed? Yes, ma'am, she was. Laughing out loud. If you wait, you'll be waiting for the rest of your life. Tonight was a big show for AEW. There was a few seconds of hearing a black or brown voice, and that was Max Caster. Okay. First AEW show I watched in months, so I'm going to keep watching to see if it changed. It's totally up to you, love. I have no issues with that. I'm glad you enjoyed it, if you enjoyed it. He said, okay, I am free. Cool. Will Hobbs is pissing me off more so because I know for a fact that if he was in Swole's position, TK would have done the same exact thing. And she even said that it's not right that she and all the other women have to fight for TV time, whereas the men don't. And she is 100% correct. She shouldn't have to fight for TV time. And if people want to see the men and the women, they should be asking to see both the men and the women, but they don't. The women get maybe 5 to 10 minutes, if that, on a 2-hour television show where the rest of the show is booked with men. Okay? That makes total sense, I guess, if that's what you want to do. Here's the thing. Here's what I want AEW to do. I want them to stop pandering to their fan base of misogynistic, Neanderthal, homophobic little bitch incels that are a part of the fan base. Because not all of them are like that, but some of them are. A lot of them are. And I want them to think about the bigger picture. I want them to be more hungry and aggressive, but in a good way, so that they diversify their portfolio and make it easier for that company to be digestible by casual fans. Most fans aren't going to get what they need from AEW, and that's part of the problem. A lot of people are going to watch AEW because they're constantly rotating out new people. You're not getting the same stuff over and over again, which is great for a little while, but there needs to be consistency in your rotation as well. I believe in rotation. I think rotation is a good thing. But if it's happening too frequently, where you can't get a feud for more than 2 weeks, then you're not going to have anything worthwhile. You're going to forget about those epic matches that you've seen because there's nothing tying you to it. There was no feud. There was nothing but a good match, which is fine if that's what you want to see. But you need to have a balance, a healthy balance of both. It seems to me that AEW and WWE are on the extreme of both sides. WWE is heavily structured, almost too structured, to the point where the superstars don't have enough wiggle room to put their say-so in unless they have the push and the pull to do so. In AEW, there are no writers. They write their own shit, or someone gives them key pointers to go off of, and they have to go off the dome. That's part of the problem. There's chaos back there. There's no structure. Nobody is in charge of anything. You just go to whoever you want to go to talk to them, and then they'll figure it out from there. That is not okay. That causes more problems than not. That's why it translates on television when you're watching certain matches. That's why you see heavy botches too, because they're not practicing their matches enough to make sure that this shit is solid before it hits the TV. And that is one thing that I was seeing from the very beginning, and I 100% said it. Yes, I'm going to start letting people in a minute. You can't go this long like this and then act as if there are no issues with your company. You have to be able to take constructive criticism. You have to be able to move forward. I ain't saying Vince McMahon is the greatest man in the world, but God damn it, I ain't never seen this nigga on Twitter with the bitchiest goddamn Twitter in the world. He ain't never went out there and was talking shit about wrestlers that was talking shit about him, because Maria and her husband was dogging the WWE like it was the bane of their fucking existence. Bane of their existence. Okay? He didn't say a word. Nobody did.
You ain't got to. They're the dog. You the moon.
Nobody said a word.
Moon don't bark at the dog.
Taya Valkyrie came out and spoke her truth about WWE lying to her and getting rid of her husband. She was upset. She was mad. She had every right to be. They didn't come out and tell her you need to be quiet because we gave you a livelihood. They didn't say that. They let that woman have her grievances because she definitely could have and she should have. You got to start learning how to have thicker skin. You acting like a child. And what I really don't like, what I really didn't like was the fact that you said that to her and then you left it open and everybody else starting attacking her, and your ass ain't even man enough to apologize to her for disrespecting her like that. And y'all can say what y'all want to, but that's a black woman, and every time I turn around, it's a black woman being shitted on social media or TV, and it's always somehow her fucking fault. It's never the person who's disrespecting her, but their fault. It's always the black woman's fault. And I'm sick of that shit. I ain't gonna sit here and let you disrespect that woman like that. No, I am not. You gonna pay one day. You gonna bow later, or you gonna bow now, but you gonna bow. One of the two. Hold on a second. I'm blocking as best I can. I think I'm trying though. Okay, thank you, Aaliyah. I'm not even seeing the bots. Only time I catch them is when Aaliyah hides them. They coming in, and when I get to the I think she's catching them, but they're not showing up on my thing, and I'll see the comments, and they'll still be in. She's hiding them, but they're still sitting there as if they aren't. 2022 motto: no more neck beards. Period. I almost had that knee-jerk reaction to block until I realized it was you. Are you letting people? Yeah, I'm gonna let you in. Give me 5 minutes, Donnie. I'll let you in. Give me 5 minutes. Jake Atlas just got injured during Rampage taping after he just got signed. I don't like that. I like Jake Atlas. I think Jake Atlas is great. I really think he would have done well in NXT 2.0. I'm upset that he's injured. I don't wish that on nobody. It's almost like he's so into being a fan, he forgets that he's a CEO. Yes, Donnie, thank you. What's homegirl's name from the UFC that said AEW is unorganized and unprofessional? And Tony Khan and his minions did the same something to her. She was not lying. She was telling the truth.
Yeah, well.
And I've heard that before. And this was before Swole came out and said anything. I heard it before
Watch him
on the low.
The difference between her and everybody else who coming at, she can actually whoop your ass.
Period. It's Paige Van.
Pretend fighting. She's not.
Right. Her name is Paige Van Zandt. I've heard it before on the low.
The top damn female UFC fighters out right now. You
yeah.
That woman alone.
Yeah, I heard it before on the low, and I didn't say anything, but I heard it before on the low, and it was right. And you know what? Swole's word is going to ring true, because if AEW fails, then wrestling will be all that much closer to failing out. I hope not. That's not something that I want either. I don't want wrestling to phase out, and I don't think that it will. But I do think that if people don't start acting like they got some common sense and stop acting like children, people are not going to want to be interested in the show in that regard. Matt Ryder said the same thing. Chelsea even said it. You know, Chelsea loudmouth ass is saying that you know something wrong. Okay? I just had to get that stuff out about Tony on my YouTube channel, because I hadn't talked about it and I had to get it up there. I'm going to take one more comment about it. That got Kira Hogan sitting in the back. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Kira Hogan ain't exactly my cup of tea. I won't shit on her wrestling. Her wrestling is cool, but her attitude sucks. So as far as I'm concerned, she went there under her own accord. I don't know what she thought it was going to be, but she was seeing more in Impact than she was on AEW. And that's facts. That's facts, 100% facts. Sorry. Anyways, let's move on to the Rumble, and then I'm going to start letting people in. So the Royal Rumble is coming up, okay? And, of course, everybody's speculating who's going to win the Rumble and what they're going to do with the Rumble. Now, we got to let ourselves into a little bit of a tizzy, okay? He said that bitch can sit in the back of the Yankee Stadium. Lord have mercy. Now, WWE done backed themselves into a corner because they done snatched the title off of my Big E. That broke my heart, y'all. That really did. It broke my heart. I prepared myself for Big E to lose, but not like that. I didn't want Brock to get that pin on Big E, but he lost. I'm going to leave it alone. Brock Lesnar is now the WWE champion, and you also have Roman Reigns as the WWE Universal champion. Now, of course, they're going to play this out the best way they know how, all right? And they're going to make it so that's far away. She needs to sit her ass in another salon chair. Stop it. My baby lost his title. You had gone somewhere, Rico. I'm not playing with you. With that damn Red Sea ass part. Oh, God. How do you feel about Eva Lee saying that she got fired because Thunder Rosa was telling false info to people in the back? As far as Eva Lee is concerned, I have been told about her history, but I'm not aware of it. And I know that Thunder Rosa can be a little shady because I've seen her do it on Twitter. As far as I'm concerned, that's none of my business. Eva Lee and Thunder Rosa got their own issues. And Eva Lee seems to, think because she's a veteran that everybody's supposed to be, licking her ass and shit. And some people don't feel that way. Some people feel like I grind just as hard as you. Don't gatekeep me out of don't gatekeep me from having a seat at the table because you feel like you had to work twice as hard and you want me to work 3 times as hard. And I can understand that. I also can understand a veteran wanting to have respect, but there's a difference between demanding respect and having somebody groveling. There's a big difference between that. So as far as I'm concerned, the situation between Ivelisse and Thunder Rosa is between them. It has, and that's all I'm gonna say about it because I don't know anything else about it. And quite frankly, it's not worth conversation. If Ivelisse was really on her shit, there's nothing that Thunder Rosa could have said to get rid of her. But Ivelisse has a history, and that's really how she was probably able to get her out. If that's the case, if Thunder Rosa was spreading lies about the girl and she got her out, it was because of her own past history. Your past follows you. It follows you. And unfortunately, you have to learn how to move better, and therefore you do better. Okay? Ivelisse needs to worry about covering up her friendship with, oh God, we thank you. That's a whole other conversation for a whole other day. Because fuck them. Okay? But we talking about the Royal Rumble. Now, Brock Lesnar is currently champion, as is Roman Reigns. And I've gotten this conversation many times about them ending the brand split with Lesnar and Roman. Now, while I said that is not something that I want to see, and I think people need to be very careful about pushing for that. You're thinking that you're going to get new matchups because everybody's going to be on one brand under one belt, but you're already cutting off half of the roster now, and you think that it's going to be better when you got one belt running around. It's going to be worse. But you hold tight to this dream of them ending the brand split. And to be honest, I agree on the level of they're probably going to end the brand split because it would probably be easier and cheaper to have the brand split ended because you won't be running effectively 2 shows. You're not spending a $2 million profit on a show. You're spending $1 million because the shows we're not going to all these different cities. You've combined the shows into one. Your schedule is shorter and you have more time to do what's necessary for each show. And you can still keep feuds separate on each show. You don't have to have Roman on every single show on Raw and SmackDown. You can have a show where it closes out with the women on SmackDown, or you can have a show on Raw where, I don't know, the United States Championship closes out on Raw instead of having the main championship close out. You can switch it up to make it work, but just know you're not going to see as many new matchups as you think. Trust what I'm saying. But y'all keep holding tight to this ending of the brand split. If it happens, remember that this is what you asked for. Okay? Because I'm going to go back to this video, take this clip, and I'm going to be like, I motherfucking told you. I'm going to rub it in your face. I really am. Usually, I keep it low key. Sometimes. But this time, I'm not doing that. All right? Now, Royal Rumble is coming up, like I said. Now, the girls in the chat and some of the guys in the chat have informed me that the triple threat is going to be next Monday on Monday Night Raw between Piper, Bianca, and Liv. Now, earlier in our conversation, everybody was asking me who I thought should win that match. Me personally, I think Bianca should win it. I think Bianca should win it. And then some of them were saying, no, I think Bianca should beat Becky at WrestleMania. My counter to that is, unless Bianca is going to beat Becky in less than 26 seconds, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. Unless she's going to beat her in less than 26 seconds at WrestleMania, I'm out. I'm out. Jay Styles says his Royal Rumble prediction is as follows: Bayley, Lacey, Bliss, and Rhea for the men, Damian, Big E, or Veer. Veer? That's a strange shot pick for WrestleMania. That is a strange pick for WrestleMania. That is weird. Ending the brand split isn't a good idea. It'll be like last time. We'll see the same people over and over. They don't believe me, love. They don't believe me. See what? Unification? Yes, darling, a unification of the titles. A unification of the men's title. A unification of the women's title. A unification, probably they're going to decide to either run with the U.S. title or run with the IC title. And they're going to obviously probably get rid of the women's tag team titles, which, to be honest, I wouldn't have a problem with that. They can put them up in the archive until they have a big enough roster, or at least enough women to be able to run a women's division in terms of a tag team. They don't even have enough men for the tag team division, to be honest with you. Bayley ain't coming. You don't think Bayley coming back for the Rumble? If that happens, I'm going to be singing Smoking Out the Window all of the time. I haven't played that song in my house in a while because my dad he's so irritated with it. I believe she just started rehabilitation. Oh, I did not know that. Ending the brand split will cut most of the roster's TV time, and those that don't get enough TV time or any at all will never see it. I 100% agree. What a dark horse, right? Veer is a very dark horse. Rico says having separate shows is the only reason girls like Shotzi, Shayna, and Doodoo are even being seen properly. I 100% agree. Oh yeah, I see unification happening. I called this a couple months back when they cut those last set of people. I don't like it, but that's where it seems to be heading. And to be honest with you, they don't have to do that. They can fill out the roster with some more NXT people as they begin to build them up. And the more people they bring in from NXT, the more the rosters will balance themselves out. And they'll be able to work in new matches and new people. But they can't be so hasty to cut everything down. I would prefer they keep the brands separate. Now, I'm pretty sure they figured out a way to work this out with Fox as long as Roman is on the show somewhere. And if Fox can keep their 2 million rating per week, they don't care what they do. They just want to keep their rating. That's all. All right. Bayley won't be back most likely until the day after Mania or the pay-per-view after Mania. Okay, I didn't know that she had just started rehab. I thought she had already started, so I didn't know. Yeah, I don't know why people are expecting Bayley to come back anytime before Mania. She tore her ACL. She won't be back until June. That sounds like she won't be back until around Money in the Bank, which I think will be a good time to bring her in, to be honest with you. Veer has to get on TV before being in the Rumble. Well, I debut him in the Rumble. Let him get a good spot in Rumble. You know? Got her trifling ass walking in these streets barefooted. Look out. And with COVID running rampant, having over flooded locker rooms isn't smart. I 100% agree. 100%. A lot of the superstars are vaccinated, but you can still get COVID when you're vaccinated. It just makes it easier for you to fight it off. You'll be down a couple days, but you should bounce back within at least at a bare minimum 5 days. You should bounce back. The minimum amount that I've seen people bounce back is like 2 or 3. Anyways, so with all that being said, with everybody that's a part of WWE now, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think they're going to end the brand split? Do you think they're going to have a unification of the titles and everybody's going to be under one God and one division, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all?
Really?
Yes. Do you think they're going to unify everything and put everything together so they can run with one brand it's 2 brands, but you know what I mean. And then they'll have NXT 2.0 and they won't have so much going on. Everybody will be under one, it'll be one roadie crew. He said not the pledge. It'll be one roadie crew, one set of producers, one set of creative writing teams. You saw that they cut down their writing teams recently as well. It does look like they're about to slim down this roster, combine the rosters together on the shows. It does look like that. And if that's the case, they've already given us the catalyst for it with Brock Lesnar being champion. So I think that's something that we all have to consider when we're getting ready to move into this new phase of the WWE. All right. I'm only saying that because they've been running the beer ads on Raw for weeks, but he very well could debut in the Rumble. We've seen people debut in the Rumble all the time. Like this year, they're gonna have fucking Johnny Knoxville in the Rumble. Right? They can do whatever the hell they want at this point. And I'm gonna get real annoyed after that because I'm gonna walk around like it's the end of times. No, Rico. I got my booster a few days before I got tested positive, and although I was sick, I didn't feel nearly as bad as others. Get vaccinated and booster, people. I 100% agree. It is preventative if you get the booster. It doesn't mean that you won't get it, but you won't get laid down as bad if you get the booster and the vaccine. You have to protect yourself. It's no different than getting your MMR shot or an influenza shot. It's the same thing. Now motherfuckers got flu Rona. They got goddamn what's the other one they got, Jared? The IHU. Yeah. That shit got 46 variants. I just said I'm just gonna leave it to Jesus. I can't do it. I can't do it no more. If they end the brand split, I think it would be nice to end the women's tag titles and introduce a mid-card title if possible. You know, if WWE had as much faith in the women's division as they used to, I would be on board for that. But it doesn't seem like they have as much faith in their women like they used to. I think somebody like Sasha or Bayley would have to spearhead that, like they spearheaded those tag team titles. And if they don't, it's probably not going to happen. This is just my opinion. I think Raquel is going to have the most eliminations in the Royal Rumble. Okay, Jay, there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you believe. I'm pretty sure they're going to give her a sizable amount. Child, not Johnny Knoxville. I thought his ass was just promoting his movie. He really supposed to be in the Rumble. He really is. Now, currently, right now, the only people who've declared for the Rumble is the Street Profits that I have seen. Now, if y'all have seen some other people declare on Twitter or Instagram, please tell me because I haven't seen it yet and I don't want to omit nobody. But the only people that I saw on Monday Night Raw declare for the Rumble were the Street Profits. They were the only ones. And for everyone who's been wishing the brand split into existence, if it comes to fruition, better know that I'm coming for that ass. And it'll be on site. Not you coming for him. I can't.
Hi guys, Don the Lead Supreme is here.
What happened, Jared?
I'm finally down. I gotta find those goddamn Zard Tigers again.
Oh, Lord. Don and Ray, too. Donnie's here.
Yes.
The Mysterios and Austin Theory. They declared for the Rumble.
It's the Mysterios, Austin Theory, and Naomi.
Oh, Naomi declared herself for the Rumble, too. I didn't know that.
Get the point of declaring for the Rumble. Honey, just be in it.
I mean, at this point...
We already know you're going to be in it. Ain't that many people
They're going to be in it, so I don't have a problem with them declaring. Do what you want. Shit. He said, oh, motherfuckers. Like, okay, so the Street Profits declared on Raw. Mysterio, Theory was brought in by McMahon because I remember him telling him that, but I had the TV on mute. And the Mysterios have declared. So you have 5 people who have declared for the Rumble. I really think they should start implementing that the lottery reel that they used to do back in the day when they would have them coming in. They need to bring that back because you can declare for the Rumble all you want to, but it's where you come in at that makes it fun. And I think they should just pick a lottery ball for their number, and it should be that night. Like you shouldn't know. Nobody should know how you enter in the Rumble, no matter if you win or not. Because some people accidentally get eliminated and they're supposed to win the Rumble.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the Rumble is a true, a true roulette reel. Like you never know how you're going to win.
Right.
Or who's going to win. So I still say they need to implement that lottery shit they used to do back in the day. Because I remember when they did it and Eddie Guerrero was still alive. And he picked He picked a really good number. I don't know if it was 21 or 27. It was one of them, and usually that number either they got a good shot at winning.
It's between
Is that
25 to 20 to 25 to 30.
and
They
30?
usually have a
Yeah,
good
like
one.
all of them numbers have a good shot of winning because they had a better percentage of winning the championship. Babe, can I have some of that
And on
French
rare
silk guy?
occasions,
Yeah.
the middle number 15 wins. Very rare occasions.
Yeah. I think once Triple H comes back, a shift in the women will happen. He's always been an advocate for women's wrestling, and since he's been gone, it's been evident in the brands that he isn't there. I
Both of them
100%
ain't there. You can
agree.
tell both of them ain't there.
Yeah, I agree. I also think with Stephanie not being there, the women aren't a focal point either because she was a key part in pushing forward those women too. Um, so
It's
I
always
I
going
hope
out.
Triple H comes back sometime this year. I'm glad he took some time off because a heart problem is never anything to play around with, and he needed a break. Now I will say WWE
Oh,
took advantage of his break, but he needs to come back. You walk around the street, I'ma jump you like Liv did to Ruby during that contract signing.
see, no, Rika, you gotta look at it at the grander scale. We're not saying that we want the brand slip to, be
But it's
gone.
happening.
But it's happening.
And
Because
it's
look at the
happening because
roster.
they just scaled back the roster. Look at the rosters.
It's
They
too
don't
thin to
have
be
enough
traveling
people. They
separately.
It wouldn't surprise me if Brock and Roman go against each other and beautify them fucking belts.
and that's where it was headed in the beginning, but in the beginning it wasn't headed that way. They were gonna do separate matches at WrestleMania. Then Brock was supposed to go up against Roman again at day one, but they had to switch. I think they moved this plan up faster than they wanted to. That's what I think happened. And now, I mean, I kind of figured it after this last round of cuts because it just seemed like they're cutting too many people to keep it where it's at. And even though I think they can keep doing it where they are and add some NXT people in to fill in those holes and still keep NXT going as developmental. Because if it was me, I'd move to NXT back to Peacock.
Yeah.
I moved NXT back to Peacock. And after this 5-year deal with Fox is up, I would go back to USA Network and put SmackDown on USA Network again. They would be running on the same network. It's no shade to Fox because I don't have a problem with Fox, but Fox is more sport oriented and they want to keep it in this realm of reality, and it's not real. Wrestling isn't real. We know this. We know it's a scripted sport. So it doesn't need to have that. It needs to have an equal balance of both. I would move NXT to the Peacock. I would put SmackDown back on Tuesdays after Monday Night Raw.
Oh, Jesus.
And then I would have I put main
NXT
event
on.
on Friday or something. And I moved NXT. I moved NXT back to Wednesdays or Thursdays.
You know what? I wouldn't even move. I wouldn't even put it back on Peacock. I would just say cut out the live portion.
No,
You need
I
to
put it back on
go back
Peacock.
to taping.
I really
So
would.
you can make sure you have an airtight, people going in and out that's gonna be at that taping. Make sure it's airtight. So ain't no leaks getting out, no spoilers, none of that shit is getting out. And just clean the shit up.
Nope, I move it.
Yo, women's champion is a mess.
Oh,
And I'm ashamed because I actually was rooting for Mandy. But it's
you
like
was.
it's like
Well,
when Mandy starts improving, she stops. Once she get the little clout that she's looking for. But it's like
I'm gonna talk about Sammy Guevara and Tay Conti in a minute. I'm gonna get on them in a minute. Just hold on, Tears. Hold tight, baby. I think one of the first times I saw Kelly was when she was spinning the ball roller. I want them to bring that back so bad.
They had Kelly doing everything.
Yep.
That bitch
Yep.
changed a
I
light bulb.
really want them to bring that back. Because the brand split ending means that a bunch of women might get booted to the side. And with Nick Khan in charge, that might signal the end of their time there. I can understand your fear of that. I really can. And
But
I resonate with it, but we gotta ride this out.
because
Out
it happens literally every decade. It happens.
you gotta if you've been watching WWE long enough, then you'll remember back in 2011 they did the same fucking
They did the
thing. The
same thing. They had a
same
very
thing.
inflexible woman, and then they cut it down so where the roster was Nikki, Brie, Eve, AJ, Caitlyn, Natty, Alicia,
Yep. Yep.
and all you saw week after week, AJ and Caitlyn. You might get a little dash of Eve, a little dash of Kelly.
And then they started the influx of the Bellas. And
Yes,
they just start pushing them heavy. And that's all we got.
but
And you know what? They didn't fire the rest of the girls that was there because they used them for the live and house shows.
mm-hmm.
They kept them there. But here's the deal. That ended up ending, and they ended up bringing in all these new people. The girls from NXT came up, the guys from NXT came up, and we saw the roster just explode. We just got this massive roster of people, and now they done did it again. They do it every 10 years. They cut this roster down to the bare bones, and they run with that for a little while, and then they expand it again.
And it's
But
really
this time
annoying.
when they did it back in 2011, they didn't cut the belts out. The belts stayed separate, and they kept the brand separate.
Yeah.
Except for no, they didn't. They brought the belts back together.
They put them together.
They did unify them.
It was after Melina had came back. Then she when she beat Alicia, then soon like shortly after that, they was like, okay, we're unifying the belts.
Yeah, they unified the belts after that. Because I remember SmackDown used to be the sucky ass show.
Yeah, it was very
Because everything was on Raw. They didn't give SmackDown shit. And they was only running with the WWE Championship at that time. Then they introduced the Universal title during the Shield era. And that's when they started to pick things up again. Storylines used to be fun. We were sitting up there, having a good time, and then they fell off. WWE have a pattern, but you gotta ride the wave. You can't give up, because if you give up, you're gonna miss something. I promise you.
You definitely will, because within that short time of it being lackluster, Dolph was champion.
Yep.
Wasn't nobody looking at fucking Dolph until Dolph blew the fuck up. Cody Rhodes blew the fuck up. Cody Rhodes then went through like 4 or 5 characters. He blew the fuck up. CM Punk went up.
Yeah.
Alberto Del Rio. Like things happen. It's not as what's the word? It's not as much as going on as it was like say back in 2016 up to 2018. It's not as much going on. It's gonna be a lot of holes within the shows, but there are good ass moments.
You just have to wait it out. You gotta ride it out. Because I'm telling you, when it really starts to flip and it changes, that's when the influx is coming back.
So when you see the first graduate of this 2.0 go up to the main roster, that's when you can start. Okay, let me start watching.
Alexa, turn off.
It's gonna be a man. She said, "Mandy always be a fucking mess." I mean,
yes, she do.
This is meant. I'm not gonna say that now. Mandy, she came on the scene.
A mess.
She was not a mess when she came on the scene. Her first match with Ember was clean. It was a good match.
I hate it.
I don't think she won though. I think she lost. She gets complacent fast. That's her issue. She gets very complacent fast. She gets the acknowledgement for the improvement, for the little half step that she did, and then she's like, "Oh, okay, I'm good." No, bitch, you are not good. Work harder. Keep at it. Have decent matches. Like, how you go for a roll up and fuck a roll up? What?
I'm already worried as hell for Shotzi, Nikki, and Shayna. Quite frankly, if they fire him, they're gonna really lose opportunities to have decent matches because they're not gonna be able to do matchups.
You shouldn't be worried for Shotzi. Shotzi is fine. They're not going to get rid of the unorthodox. They're
I
not
don't
going
think
to
they're
do
gonna
that. They
get rid of
realize
any
their
more
crowd.
people on the main roster. If they do, I'd be shocked. But I'm not gonna put that in the atmosphere. I'm not gonna wish that on nobody.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that.
The Bellas left for 11 months, got fired for almost most of 2011. It wasn't until 2013, 2012, 2013 is when the influx of the Bellas started because of Total Divas, and that's when the Funkadactyls came in.
Yes.
It's not as complex, but there were interesting bits of that era of wrestling. When it came to the influx of NXT, even before that era was okay. I just didn't like the Bellas run. I didn't like their run because it was overly dominant, and Nikki Bella wasn't good enough to have that dominant of a reign to me. That's what I had a problem with. On the men's side, I didn't have a problem with any of that shit. I remember most of the 2011 when they cut that roster down, they ran with that smaller roster and they were running decent feuds with people. Like even Jack Swagger had a decent feud back then.
Child.
And that's saying a lot.
That Jack Swagger did, Little List Man, he did have one.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
He definitely did. He was a good.
That ring wasn't much. Though.
He had a run as U.S. champ, and
he did, and he was champion.
He was champ for a while. What you say, Mom?
Huh?
What'd you say?
What?
His what was it called? The heavyweight championship at the time of SmackDown?
Wasn't the heavyweight? Yeah, they had the heavyweight.
Champion.
Yeah, it wasn't really much.
Him and Big Show had a whole program.
He did. Damn.
I'm trying to tell you, ain't nobody. Go back on the Peacock Network. One thing about the Peacock, a lot of people don't like it, but one thing I do like about it is that shit is set up by season. All you got to do is scroll down and look at the live. You'll see the SmackDowns and the Raws that you need to watch, so you can watch the feuds as they build themselves. It's not hard to find them. And you can go back and watch the shit because you can see it. I just told you the year where the shit went down. So you can see it right from that SmackDown where they had all them people on there. And then you can start to see how the people started to disappear. And you'll start to watch. The feuds start to go down a little bit. And you're like, okay, what the fuck is going on? Then all of a sudden, a couple SmackDowns go by. And you'll start to see they start building up people that you never thought would be champion. No way in the fucking world did I ever think that Jack Swagger was going to be champion for anybody.
You wouldn't even
never in the day because he was a lisping bitch. He could not talk and he still can't talk.
I don't listen.
A list? You said what is a list?
I'm not a lisping bitch. I can't.
Oh,
he was a lisping bitch. He's still a lisping bitch. He's still a lisping bitch.
He was. He was like, I prove to all you people that
people with a hard ass.
Oh my god, that shit was terrible.
I hated that We the People shit. It was too close to the Ku Klux Klan, and I didn't like it.
Child.
And his handler was even worse because he looked real clanny. I was like, hell no.
Like Cesaro. I thought it was odd as hell because Cesaro wasn't even American.
No,
he's European. He is Swiss. I'm like, y'all call this man the Swiss Superman, but he talking about We the People. He resides in America, yes, but he's not from here.
Tears said they were booking Eva Marie and JoJo in matches where they were crashing and burning. Let me tell you something. I had stopped watching. I had took a break because I didn't even see JoJo and Eva Marie wrestle, and I was just like, why? I didn't understand why JoJo was there. I was very confused by that. And then when they made her a ring announcer, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, okay, cool. You know.
She was supposed to go under the Funkadactyls.
Oh.
But that didn't happen because she couldn't wrestle.
She was too young to wrestle.
Huh?
She was still too young to wrestle.
No, she was taking bumps. She
was wrestling.
She had a few matches, but she couldn't wrestle. So they took her ass off.
Okay, so let's talk about Tay Conti and Sammy Guevara.
Okay.
Before I get to the rest of these questions in here. So if you don't know what happened, Tay Conti and Sammy Guevara, I think it was last month before last, Thanksgiving, around that time, it came out that Sammy Guevara and his fiance wasn't together no more, and everybody was speculating it was because of Tay Conti. She deactivated her Twitter and ran away because people called her home wrecker, a slut, and a whore. And then on New Year's Eve, Sammy Guevara's dumbass came out and posted a picture and was like, 2022 is gonna be fun, and it's him and Tay Conti kissing. Now,
Stupid motherfuckers.
Fucking stupid.
everybody looked at that shit like,
you goddamn idiot.
I know damn well you didn't come on Twitter hollering and screaming for a whole week about how you wasn't sleeping with Tay Conti and that wasn't your woman.
Y'all just friends.
And y'all just friends, and we ain't never went that way. And you out here making out with her. Now, mind you, Tay Conti was also married. Tay Conti was married. She is no longer married. She was married. Divorce. She was.
I act like you care.
Oh, damn.
But she's getting a divorce. The Conti of her name, her last name is Continental because of her husband's last name. That's why Nicole calls her Continental
Breakfast.
Okay, so it must have started in right before Christmas then.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Excuse me.
Now, everybody, I was like, well, since y'all know the truth, where y'all motherfuckers that was attacking Carmelo for a whole fucking year, I want Tay Conti to get the same fucking smoke.
That was the quietest.
Smoke.
It was so quiet. They said, "Oh my God, so happy freak." Excuse me.
I was like, I know damn well y'all ain't doing
so
that.
Happy.
Y'all all saw the man propose to the girl.
Quiet. They said, "Oh my God, so happy."
But I'm gonna tell you like this: I knew something was wrong when he proposed to that girl, and she had on that dress. You know, it was kind of a Brie-esque dress, cause Brie kind of dressed like that,
like a hippie.
Yeah, and I was like, that ain't how you propose to nobody, baby. You didn't prepare her. You could have been like, babe, I want you to look real nice when you come to the show. They're gonna put you on TV. You're gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna look real nice. When she put the dress on, I'm like, no, babe, put on something real fly. Put on something real nice. You know, you come in the ring, you propose, everything is solid right now. You can propose on national fucking television. You went and pulled the Cena. Okay?
He ain't pull the Cena because Cena ain't cheap.
Well, no, he did. He didn't. So I'm just gonna have to call it a Guevara, okay? Because that's a mess.
That's a
whole ass mess. You didn't have to do that girl like that. Now, if you wanted to be with Tay Conti's bright and yellow ass, you could have. All you had to do was break up with your girlfriend.
Literally.
True.
You didn't have to propose
on
to
TV.
her.
Yeah.
And you've been with her for so long, and then you propose to the girl, and now you kissing this bitch on TV. And then they talking about, well, we're just trolling. Now, here's the fun fact. Nicole and Alexis was going at their necks. And they blocked us. Simultaneously blocked us on Twitter. So I'm just sitting here like, y'all really out here fucking. Like, okay. If you grown enough to lay there and do it, be grown enough to reap the consequences of what you've done. You can't do fuckboy shit and then get mad because people mad at you for it. You have ruined somebody else's life for your own happiness. Don't you think for a second that you are going to be able to live happily and scot-free without any consequences? The world does not work that way.
Period.
You can't build your life on destruction. You can't do that. You should have been honest with your girlfriend and told her straight up, I don't think this is working. I've changed. And I don't think it's you. Be real. It's not you, it's me. I've changed. And I don't want this relationship no more. And then you can do whatever the fuck you want. They can judge you for moving on too fast or sleeping with Tay Conti, but it's very clear you've been fucking this bitch.
Clearly.
It's very clear you've been doing it. And it don't matter when you get with her because you were already linked to her before everybody knew y'all was together. Now you want to try to play it off like, oh, we not together. We just messing with y'all. That's not nothing to mess with because your ex-girlfriend is still sitting at home thinking she was about to get married, planning a wedding, and she ain't got nothing no more. That's not funny. Ain't none of that cute. You done left her hanging high and dry. Now, whether it was a mutual breakup or not, it's disrespectful for you to do some shit like that. It's just wrong. And you playing up on the shit that people already suspected. I could see if it was a kayfabe story in AEW, then I wouldn't be mad about it. I'd be like, well, bitch, shit.
Hey, it is what it is.
Fucking Melina told everybody Batista assaulted her and shit. She the one went in the room and was trying to sleep with him. I'm just... I remember that story very well. She went in that room and sat on his lap. The cameraman zoomed right in on her ass. Okay? Then she came out the next week with a whole damn press conference talking about Batista assaulted me. I said, Lord have mercy, this lying bitch. A whole damn storyline. Let me put these comments up in
Wait till
here.
they block the fuck out them. As they should, because I would talk my shit too.
Already take Conti and Tammy blocked it. Yes, they blocked us, baby. She
2022
said,
would start off right already.
and the bitch was wearing a burqa. The fuck?
Okay, I know that's some tears of that.
That bitch was giving real Miss Roper from Three's Company realness.
Please.
Y'all ain't never seen Three's Company? Tilly, you don't remember that storyline in WWE? You gotta go back. Go back on Peacock, because I know it's up there.
It's not. It's
It
a
was
storyline. Batista wouldn't do no shit like that.
It was a storyline. It wasn't real. It was a storyline.
She's about to go shoot
Batista
that man.
was buying. I think Batista was a part of a championship match, and she wanted Johnny Nitro to get it because John Morrison was Johnny Nitro at the time. So she thought she could find a way to get rid of Batista, to get him out of the way so Johnny Nitro can get it. If I remember how the story went, she went into the locker room, seduced Batista, they was making out, cameraman cuts, and it moves on to the next segment. The next week, she came out there in the middle of the ring, Melina. She came out there with a press conference, dressed like she was finna go to court, and was like, last week, I went in the locker room to talk to Batista, and she started to fake cry, and Johnny went up behind her and was rubbing her back and shit.
I saw that.
And they had the cameras all out there taking pictures. She was like, oh my God, it's so hard. And he was like, it's okay, you can do this. she goes, it's Melina. Melina was the one. And she goes, he assaulted me in the locker room. And I said no, and he didn't stop. And I was just like, this lying bitch. Now you have to remember, this was in the 2000s. Okay? So shit like that was readily happening. It ain't gonna be accepted now. Because motherfucking heads roll.
It wouldn't be acceptable to have people too attached with it. They so attached to it, baby. If you would just watch it like it's a fucking TV show, that it is.
It's a TV show. It is not real. But that is what happened. That is what happened.
Didn't Melina say she was messing with Batista the entire time, though?
Yeah, she was sleeping with Batista.
Because he said on he said on camera he said that it was at a bar. He said, how does Batista's dick taste?
Well,
that's rude.
I mean, at that time, Melina was really dating Johnny
She was
Nitro.
really with him.
And they really were sleeping with each other. And Johnny ended up breaking up with her after that. For real.
And so did Batista.
And so did Batista. Dropped her ass like a bad habit. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
She lost two niggas at the same damn time.
Yes, right where he found
damn,
him.
bitch, I was only fucking niggas fun. I don't want to do it no more.
He was like, well, it ain't no fun if the homies can't have none, so I'm out.
So look, so she was with Johnny Nitro.
Lita losing motherfucking CM Punk.
No, that was karma. No, that was karma.
That was karma.
She earned that.
She lost it to her
She
fan.
Earned that shit. She earned it.
Oh, you lost your man.
She did it to herself. She did
what?
that to herself. You cannot go through life hurting people and think you're gonna get what you want in the end. That ain't how the shit work.
Period.
It ain't how this work.
Who lost who?
When did that happen? I didn't even see the proposal. Wait,
Honey, it don't matter, really. He not
he
even gonna marry the
proposed to her
girl.
on TV. It was on fucking TV.
It's on
Sammy Guevara
AEW.
proposed to that girl.
If you don't watch
It was
AEW,
all
don't
over
worry
Twitter.
about it.
Hold on a second. Wasn't at the same time as Mickey and John Cena?
No, nobody's talking about Carmelo and Graves, Aaliyah.
I have to express my appreciation.
We talking about Sammy Guevara. When Carmella got proposed to by
Today, on the live,
Graves, that was Christmas. They just got engaged.
Marge, where are you at?
Just in a couple hours.
Home.
And I want to thank
What happened?
you so much for
Are you watching
helping out.
TV?
Every dollar
No.
matters so much. And again, whether you're
It ain't me. Ain't no
It
TV
ain't
on
me.
in my room.
Oh my God, he got a girlfriend. Oh
You
shit.
watching fucking TV? Turn that shit down. Lying for no reason. Bitches just be lying. What you lying
Well,
for?
another
You
reason
so
why she
sad.
was
I
so
was on
mad
Instagram.
was so mad because after they did the dirty, Batista was like, get out of something like that after they did, and she got mad. Well, I mean,
Wait, what?
But John Cena did shit on his wife with Mickey, which is why
Wait, but didn't John Cena cheat on his wife with a porn star that he met at the gym?
Mickey
no,
James.
I
Mickey
thought
James
those,
ain't no porn star.
no, it, I could have sworn.
Well,
I could have sworn he messed with a porn star.
Shut up, Don.
fine.
You always trying to say something ignorant.
Oh,
It's
well,
not
well,
that. It's the truth.
what
She
about
did
Mickey
it.
James pictures?
She owned up to her truth. She's a woman.
She slept with John Cena while he was still married to his wife. And that, I think that was one of the reasons why he didn't want to get married, because he understood that he couldn't control himself.
Wow.
I mean,
I feel like he made that decision while he was young. Like, you got there early 20s. So, of course,
he
you're
was
going to be
with
doing
her,
silly
dating
ass
her when
shit.
they was in high school. They got married. When I saw her, I was just like, I don't think she's his cup of tea, but they dated in high school. And when you're in high school, proximity plays a large part in why we date who we date.
Okay, then you get to WWE, you seeing these bitches with the big ass titties, fine as hell.
Yeah, them titties was hard.
I'm like, oh.
Them titties was hard. They look like
They
two
were like,
bucks.
don't you got? They would ask, don't you got a wife? Hell yeah, what? She ain't here.
Yeah, right. We on tour for the
Shit.
next 2 weeks, bitch.
We got. Will she
It was
find out
just-
what shit? And it's gonna be the end.
I mean, that's the same thing I said, Teresa, but I wasn't trying to be mean. Okay, I'm just okay. Let me
What'd
be
you say?
quiet.
Well, that's not something. If you saw his first one, child, we saw his.
I
First
remember that, and after they got done, fucking Melina was like, "So we have a deal, right?" And Batista was like, "No deal, but I feel so much better to see you at the ring." That's what happened. And then she came out and said that he assaulted her. That's what happened. And I don't care what nobody say. That shit was ignorant, okay? But I was sitting here like, no, this bitch didn't.
I remember because I remember watching the clip and she was just all booed up with him in the locker room.
Yeah,
everything cheesy, smiling.
And Batista just had her all sitting wide legged and shit. I'm like, oh,
okay, she went from one leg to over his crotch. It was wild. It was some wild shit.
I'm like, oh God, we thank you, honey. This is now.
Who was watching TV? No, that was Maj on his phone.
Not Don. That was Maj on his phone on Instagram.
What the fuck?
Okay, I was lost about that part. I knew about the Melina part. She said, "Well, not for something. You saw his first night wife, but not for nothing, honey." Okay, so to keep it real, John Cena's first wife was a unconventional beauty.
We do know how he was. That's a nice way of putting it, Tiffany.
She was. She was one of those girls that like to, you put color in your hair, you wear dark, heavy makeup, but it aged her a lot. And I just didn't understand. I was like, what is something about this is amiss. But John Cena was wrong. I don't care if he cheated on his wife. I don't care if she's an unconventional beauty or not. You should have been respectful to her and not cheat. Now this nigga came out and told everybody it was stressful for the house they was building and they just got a divorce. And I said, nigga, I know damn well ain't nobody finna leave you while building no damn house.
Damn.
I'm like, just tell people the truth. Just tell people you fucked up. Don't nobody care.
It's a strap on.
Okay.
We
Clearly.
didn't give a shit.
We still don't give a shit, honestly.
Because y'all still was getting booed. You still was getting booed and cheered when you brought your ass out there. We did not care, honey.
Honey, I'd fuck on Randy today. He can cheat today.
Same with Randy, married to his high school girlfriend. That didn't last either. And we all know how Randy was in his early 20s. Randy was a hoe. Okay. Randy was a hoe. Okay. John Cena was a little more isolated with his hoism. Randy was not. Okay. Randy was out there. Randy was lightweight thug. You know what I mean? He was like
Randy was fucking that bitch, fucking that bitch.
He was basically out there.
Fucking that bitch.
He was basically out there smoking weed and getting ass. He didn't give a damn. Like, he was just,
honey, if I was Randy, I wouldn't give a shit either.
Stupid. He said it's always mine. Yeah, pretty much.
You already know. It's just extra fucking noise. Speaking of Mickey, she got an ass whipping happen at Hard to Kill, Curiosity of Dia. Oh, you courtesy, okay.
Courtesy of Deanna.
Hard to Kill,
so we
courtesy of
Deanna. Knockout champion. I mean, okay.
She gonna be a 2-time?
I thought Deanna was going after the AAA title and well, she already got it. Deanna's the AAA champion for the women. And I heard Taya Valkyrie was going after that.
Yeah, but she wanted a rematch against Mickey though.
Oh, she's trying to be a double champ. I don't think that Deanna's gonna win, but okay.
It wouldn't make sense for her to win. It wouldn't make sense.
I think they should put the belt on Tasha Steelz. She ain't in tag team contingency right now. They done brought the beautiful people back. So it's the beautiful people against the inspiration.
The beautiful people for like what the
inspiration. Yes.
That was Icon.
It's
Billy and Peyton.
I know who they are.
I'm just saying.
I'm just who the fuck want to see that shit?
I don't know, nigga. It ain't my show. It ain't my show, baby.
Like I would have had, like at least at the very least, I would have had the beautiful people put out Kiera Hogan. That's how I would have did that.
Well, Kiera Hogan is in AEW, so
I know. I'm saying before she had left.
And
then had that whole implosion like that.
Is like going into college in a serious relationship. I mean, a lot of people was married and when they was wrestling and didn't cheat.
Is this first pump in?
I remember when Undertaker was married, he was dedicated to Sarah, but you know, Michelle McCool.
What if she started family vacation? Oh God.
She made it a point to get her secured retirement. You heard me?
She said no. I need more.
And then that nigga, she put it on him so bad that nigga deleted the tattoo on his neck that said Sarah. Just
he scribbled it out
and
put Michelle.
You say he deleted the tattoo.
He scribbled it out and put Michelle on top.
He's fucking stupid.
Shit is
if you make it through unscathed, more power to you. But baby, hoes be found. I'd rather you be single if you're gonna do all that shit.
Yep.
Okay.
Just be single.
Not temptation is too strong. Temptation ain't never too strong.
Kelly was single, but I was after Tess passed away. She was really in love with Tess, but Kelly was single. She was dipping in and doing it. In the words of Wendy Williams, she was zipping and doing it, honey. Hoes were already there. The temptation is too strong. Not if you got conviction, baby. It ain't. You don't want to hurt nobody. Do what Roman and them do. Like, matter of fact, some of them wives be on their buses.
Are you hearing what, White? The beautiful people are back and they going against the inspiration? That's what you talking about. Yeah, you heard that, right?
No, he talking about me saying Tasha Steelz could be knockout champ.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
She 100% could be.
She could do promos.
She's going up for the Ring of Honor Women's Championship on the January 13th. For what?
The only reason why Tasha Skills got that reading that she had because she was backing up her tag partner.
Yeah, I think her name
So
is Savannah, the new girl, Savannah
the
that
new
she
girl,
got
that
with her.
big tall,
She is good too.
Jesus, that girl big as hell.
I like her.
I'd be scared of her.
Here's the thing. You know what's funny? And everybody's okay with multiple people getting multiple championships, but y'all not complaining about seeing the same people on different circuits taking up time at other people's companies, but y'all complaining about people in WWE. Let that sink in.
Speaking of
Y'all
big
not
as hell,
complaining about Deanna, and I'm not complaining either because I don't care. Because where she goes, I don't watch. But let's keep it real. Deanna is a prominent fixture in Impact. You already have a championship from AAA, and now you're going after another woman's title in another company when that opportunity could be given to somebody else. So what is the difference between what's happening on the indie circuit with all these known wrestlers becoming multiple champions or multi-time champions and what's happening in WWE? Is it because you see that on TV every day and you have to go find what they're putting in the indies to go watch it? Because they're going around in circles on the indies too. It's the same shit, different toilet.
mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Is D still in here? He probably not.
I don't know. I think he left.
I'll revisit.
Tasha Steelz for knockout champ. Yes, sir. I stand by that statement. Tasha is not a bad wrestler at all.
I ain't been keeping up with
Impacting champion. Okay.
I ain't keeping up with them, but she is to that level. But is she to that level yet? Yes, she is. I've seen Tasha Steelz wrestle on many occasions, indie and in Impact. She is where she needs to be. If they wanted to, they could very well give her a shot. And she could take that title off of Mickey and it'd be plausible.
Oh, it's Madison Rain and Emma.
Yeah, they're the new beautiful people. Deanna versus Rock for the Ring of Honor Championship on January 13th on Impact.
I don't really give a shit about Madison Rain for real, but Emma's cool.
I thought Madison Rain retired. At least that's what she said the last time I saw her. Now she done come back. Okay, they keep retiring and they keep leaving and coming back, child.
Hold on.
The Inspiration
hold on.
versus Madison Rain and Emma at Hard to Kill. The Inspiration, them hoes put more effort into photo shoots than they do rather than in their in-ring capabilities. I will say their interest look like a whole ass music video, but their ring work is subpar. So I was like, oh.
We don't give shit to Billy. We give shit to Cassie. Cassie gets all the bullshit. Billy gets praise for putting in her hard work for trying. She get an A for effort in dressing well.
I'm not saying it would be too strong for me. I'm just saying that some are not.
Some are not. What? We talk about a leader. Oh. Temptation.
Okay. Tasha is in the women's Ultimate X match for the women. Okay. Well, that makes sense then.
What the hell?
It's like a stepping stone for her. I didn't know we were checking for Tasha like that. Here's the thing with Tasha. I think the situation with her, Kira, and Sasha Banks was because of Kira. Tasha Steelz got her own shit going. And to be honest with you, I liked Tasha Steelz before that situation with her and Sasha. Most of the person doing most of the talking in the videos was Kira Hogan in the beginning. She's the one who got the problem with Sasha Banks, which I still don't really understand, and I don't care. But I know that Tasha Steelz is a good wrestler, and she's a good heel character, and she could be a good character in period. I want them to book people based off of what they're capable of and what I know they can do. And Tasha Steelz is somebody that you could put that title on. Or you put the title on Savannah, but I feel like Savannah needs to be built up a little bit more before you just dive her right into a championship.
Raquel Tees.
Right. How many women are currently in Impact? Baby, I
don't
know. I don't know, honey.
Don't nobody check for Impact. Just know it's enough.
Tasha has been on that level for a while. I agree.
It's enough for them to do tournaments, tag tournaments, women championship tournament. It's enough of them.
What was you about to say about Roman and his about Roman or his wife? You was about to say something, but you changed the subject. The thing is with Roman is like if his wife comes with him, she's on the bus. He has a fucking bus. Johnson used to have a bus that Nikki used to ride on. Nikki used to be on that bus with him. And like all the big stars who got the money, who don't want to fly all the time and will drive from city to city when it's close enough, they will drive. Like I remember when I met Rhonda and they was going to St. Louis, she drove from the Q to St. Louis, which I think is an 8, maybe 9 hour drive. I don't know. Chris left from up here already. It's like an 8, 9 hour drive to St. Louis from here. So she drove. You know, they don't always they don't always be on a plane. Now somebody like Charlotte, she gonna fly. Charlotte, like I get my ass on the plane. That's why I got the money. Okay, I'm paying for an airplane ticket, and I'm gone. Now when their families are there, like Jimmy and Naomi, they can rent a car and drive together. If they don't want to fly, you can do that. But if I was Becky and Seth, I would have a fucking bus. I would buy one. Because I remember John Cena's bus was decked out. Like it wasn't. It was real incognito.
It was decked on the inside.
But it was decked out on the inside. It looked like a fucking hotel room on the inside.
A mattress. It had mirrors on the ceiling. I
It
said,
was
what
gorgeous.
kind of freaky deaky shit is this?
Hell yeah.
On
It was
a
a
bus?
huge bed in the back of it. Like, oh God, we thank you.
Last I heard about
nothing in Madison Rain stood out to me. I
didn't
didn't enjoy her with the beautiful people either. Madison Rain's not bad. It was Angelina Love that I didn't care for. Her titties look like rocks.
They still look like that.
Still look like rocks. She still dressed like it's 2003.
Yeah.
It's very
The ultimate X match is Lady Frost. Oh, I love Lady Frost. And you know what WWE that pissed me off? WWE told Lady Frost that she was too old to come. But Lady Frost is fucking dope.
Lady Frost
she is not too old. She is not too old to be in WWE. And y'all gotta stop doing that shit. Lady Frost is dope.
Too old.
Lady Frost, Rosemary, Chelsea Green, Rachel Ellie, and Jordan Grace. I don't really care for Chelsea Green. She just get on my nerves. I don't know who Rachel Ellie is. Her name sounds familiar, but I don't know who she is. That match seemed cool. I might watch it, but I ain't gonna
Jordan
pay for her.
Grace. Has Grace got the champion? Has she got the championship yet?
She had the knockout women's championship.
She's been champion before.
She's been tag team champion. She's gotten championships, but she didn't keep them long.
All right.
Last I heard about Impact, it was Sue Young's pregnancy reveal. Yeah, she's pregnant. She's pregnant. I think that's Rich. Ain't Rich Swann her husband?
I thought they broke up.
No, they fought it out.
Literally.
They fought it out and got back together.
Where?
They was fighting and she was on some. Basically, what happened was they was fighting. She was on some bullshit. She put this shit out there, got him arrested, and it got out.
He lost his job in WWE.
She was on bullshit. They were fighting. It was a physical fight between two. He was not beating her up. They were fighting.
That's true.
That's that shit I don't like.
Daniel Bryan had a buzz too. He had petty ass rules though.
Oh yeah, I remember that on Total Divas.
I saw Big Show's bus right before I saw him at a show. That was years ago though. I like Chelsea for her gear. I don't like Chelsea's gear. I hated her gear when she was in WWE because she used to wear that damn tutu and I didn't like it.
Dan Bryan doesn't have a bus. He rented a bus.
You fell asleep. It's okay, Kenny, that you fell asleep.
He's too much of an environmentalist. He'll rather have a fucking environmental car that you got to charge.
Yeah, basically.
He get a fucking bus.
Who, Daniel Bryan?
Yeah, Daniel.
He had one on Total Divas.
It was a rental.
Yeah, but he rented the bus. He didn't. He had a lot of rules.
He did have a lot of rules.
She's the new. Okay, I got you.
He did have a lot of.
I don't know. Daniel Bryan doesn't have a bus. He rented a bus on that episode of Total Divas but he doesn't have a buzz. He's too much of an environmentalist to have a buzz. That shit emit hella toxins into the air.
Oh, you ain't
Hella.
missing nothing for real, Tears. It wasn't really memorable. It was just decent looking gear. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't
No. Jordan Grace was Knockouts champion for a long time. I don't think it was a long time.
I don't think it was. I don't remember her being Knockout champion for that long.
It wasn't long. She had
Jordan
it for
Grace
like
is the
a
new
good.
champion for Impact. What new
No.
champion?
No, she not. Nikki is.
What championship
That's what I
does
thought
Jordan
she
Grace
was.
have? Is it the middle? Is it a middle card belt for the women's division? Because I don't know what belt you're talking about.
Ain't no promotion got no middle card belt.
Chelsea wasn't in WWE long enough for me to remember her gear. It was hella basic. It was always either purple or pink. When she was on SmackDown, it was blue.
She ain't
had
pull out
white
the
trim.
gear. She ain't had time to.
She had white trim. It was like lightly sparkly. She had a red version of it that she wore on NXT, and she used to wear this tulle like wraparound skirt that she would come out, and then she'd be shushing everybody when she come out there. And then that was the time when she was put that gel in her part, and it just looked like she
in the
just
Royal
threw
Rumble.
a bunch of glitter in the middle of her head.
That shit was atrocious.
That was Chelsea gear, glitter and a tulle wraparound skirt. I hated
He
it.
said he not you like the tool.
4 months felt like a while. To me, that's a short championship reign. 4 months is a short reign.
It's a decent.
I remember when Stone Cold blew up the DX Express bus back in the day. That's a deep cut. I forgot all about that. That TV championship. I didn't know they had the TV championship. Oh, I know the belt you're talking about. That's the belt she's had for a while. Okay, now I get it. I took one of my migraine pills before I got my hair done. Girl, I was fighting to sleep as my mom was braiding my hair. Ooh, child. I should have told my sister to braid my hair when she was here, but I did not. Shut up, Don.
No,
she's holding it in a gender belt right now. Jordan Grace got the Digital Media Championship for the men and women. Okay. Jordan was champion for 182 days. You can count it as long as you want to. I don't care.
That's one thing she never actually talked about. Maybe I should tweet her and ask her about that shit. What the fuck was that about?
About what?
The glitter in her part. What was that about? Who did? Who?
Oh no! Then she would have glitter all up in her hair. A mess. She was using glitter gel. It was either glitter gel or she was using that lemon head or uni-glitter shit that you can pretty much put everywhere. But instead of her combing it through her hair and like letting it, like concentrate in the part, it just was glopped in the part. It looked stupid. See, I think Chelsea's gotten better gear since leaving now that she's committed to the asymmetrical style. This purple camo gear she had on recently was really nice. I don't like it.
I like her drip gear.
I've seen Chelsea's gear on Twitter and it fits her. It looks nice on her. I just don't like it. It's chaotic, like she's chaotic. Which works for her.
No, but I will say, was it on Impact when they did that spot? It was Matt versus somebody. I can't remember his fucking
name. She came out there.
She came out there, took that damn chair shot. I said, damn.
Yeah. It was against Moose.
Shit. Huh?
It was Moose.
No,
that
it was
mush
somebody
mouth
white.
bitch.
It was somebody white that hit her with the chair.
His tongue getting in the way when he talked too.
Moose, that motherfucker there talking about ain't no champion greater than me, right? Boy, shut the fuck up.
He was like, it's a promo. He's supposed to say that. I'm like,
he put it on Twitter, didn't he?
Stick in his wheelhouse, which is them 400 to 300,000 views he get every week. That's where he's supposed to be at.
Didn't he put that on Twitter?
You don't go out there and tell everybody you the greatest champion in wrestling history and nobody in any company can touch you. I'm like, don't nobody want to touch you. That's why your black ass is in Impact and not nowhere else.
I would have took the Twitter line. I'm scared you're gonna throw me down the steps, but hey.
Shady boo.
They ain't gonna like my ass. So I'm probably gonna end up getting my ass beat.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Bring it for my promo cuts.
I still need to figure out how she makes that one purple gear so sparkly. It looks sparkly in pictures. It's probably a filter.
No, I don't know. She don't really spend money like that.
If it's not sparkly in person, like on camera when she's wrestling, it ain't. It's either resin crystals or it's Swarovski crystals, and Swarovski crystals are expensive. But if it's not sparkly in person, it's a filter, and she's making it sparkle because of the filter.
That seems more like her speed.
She never be tagging the designer with that gear, and I see it, and it don't got a crystal in sight, but it's not glitter, and it be shimmering like it's both. It's probably a filter. Deanna is about to become 3 times knockouts champion and got away.
Okay, no shit. I'm tired of talking about that shit. Like, let's stop typing that in the
second
comments.
longest reigns.
We're still talking about Deanna and Jordan Grace with these fucking titles. I'm really over it. Really over it. We've been talking about this for like the past 20 minutes.
He is so extra.
Like, so I'm just like, just for real. Like,
honestly, it's hard to talk about Impact because a lot of us can't get Impact. So I can't have a conversation about Impact because it's on Access TV. If you don't have Sling TV or regular cable, you're not gonna come across Impact.
Okay, I got Sling. I just ain't signed up for it. I got some good movies on there though.
$20 for Sling, but I'm not gonna pay $20 just to watch fucking Access.
I think I watched one of the free movies that was on Sling. Or was that Voodoo? I don't remember what the fuck that was. I'll turn my TV on first. That's how that works.
No, she had a variant of it on NXT before the crowds went away, and she redid it in a different style. And on camera, it sparkles and shimmers.
Well, maybe
you're
it's the
sure it
fabric.
don't have no crystals on it. It's gotta have crystals on it. It's either crystals or it's very fine glitter that is sparkly. And there are such things as reflective glitter. So what'll happen is, because they use it in nail polish, and I have a couple of them. What'll happen is when the lights hit it, it reflects the light brighter. It looks like there's no glitter on there, but it is. It's a reflective glitter. It's meant to be flat when it's natural light, and it's supposed to be exacerbated in bright lights, especially on spotlights. So it's probably a reflective glitter that she's using that's very, very fine. It's this purple gear, and it has stones on the lining and shit, but the main material has fishnet all over it, and it looks iridescent and glittery. Yeah, it's a reflective glitter. That's why it's doing that. Impact not on cable was the cherry on top for me not to care with their stuffs, but most of their stuff I've seen is from YouTube or Twitter. Child and Tiff, I got Martin on right now in the episode when Gina got her head stuck in the headboard. That shit was fun. She did that whole fucking show with the headboard on her head. It had this massive ass Donald the big ass Donald wig on.
Then had that fucking job pitch looking crazy.
And did it and landed the gig too.
Child.
Where the hell Vanessa Bourne been at? Fired. She's been fired.
Where have you been at? Watching Impact.
Let me tell y'all something that Donna and Rico said in the group chat that I was like, I wish they would listen to us. Donna and Rico was talking, and they was talking about the Toxic Attraction faction because they was upset at how Mandy's been handling it as of lately. And they don't like JC. The only person in the group that really people like is Gigi, because she's the only one who has really good wrestling skill and can actually hold her own on the microphone with people, right? So they were like, if they had put Scarlett in Mandy's place and put Vanessa Bourne in JC's place, they would have something better going on with Toxic Attraction right now than what they got going on with Mandy and JC. I was like, Scarlett being at the helm of that works 100%. 100%. Now I'm upset that she got cut before she even got the chance to get out the box.
Before
Now,
she
what
can
I
actually
do
show what she can do.
now what I do know is that Scarlett's breast implant ruptured, so she had to
Mhm.
go have surgery and get that fixed. That was gonna have her out for quite some time, kind of like what happened with Charlotte.
Not the bruises.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
had wrestled. She said she didn't feel any pain. It didn't feel wrong, but she had got home and one was low and the other one was up. She's like, that shit ain't right.
right. Because when I started wrestling, I wanted to take the concept of that and do it in a lime green variant for my gear. Well,
I take the concept of that.
take a picture of it, and keep it with you.
I do that with some blue.
That would have been interesting, right? Because Scarlett gives you that aesthetic. She gives you that aesthetic. The problem is Mandy can't give you the wrestling to match the attitude, but
Exactly.
Scarlett could have. Scarlett could have, and Vanessa. Even if you had took Scarlett out, Vanessa would have fit too. When Vanessa and
She
Aaliyah was
definitely would have
on
fit.
there as a team on NXT, she was a mess. I did not like that bitch. Oh, I didn't like her. But she did her job and it would
Yeah.
have worked. She would have been good in that. And I think that persona they took from her and gave to Carmella would have worked for Vanessa. Vanessa would have killed that shit.
Yep.
But they didn't give her a chance. They did not give her a chance, and they should have.
Cause you see what Carmella did with the shit.
Carmella sucks
She
at
couldn't do
that.
it. She couldn't handle it. That was not her wheelhouse. Which it started off okay, but then it's when they had to put her in like deep promos to actually, okay, we're giving you 10 minutes to talk about this. She couldn't do it. She didn't talk about
Man,
nothing.
all you got was a lot of honeys and
I'm
I'm beautiful
untouchable. I'm gonna take
and
your
a lot of
title.
laughing. And it's
I'm
like,
like
girl,
fine wine. You're like cheap Walmart liquor. Girl, shut the fuck up. What are you
girl,
talking
you
about?
get your champagne, have a twist off cap just like the rest of ours. Stop lying.
The best
Okay.
thing she did was bust that bottle on Sasha back. And why would I say that? Because what was they fought the rematches at Royal Rumble? What was before Royal Rumble?
It was some pay-per-view they let them have.
She actually had a decent match with
She
Sasha.
did.
Um oh, that's
And
great.
she was super clean for being really green. Vanessa had some good gear. Carmella didn't even like the untouchable gimmick.
She
I feel
did.
like her untouchable gimmick was close to Mella's money. I didn't understand why they didn't just let her be Mella's money like she was before. They should have just gave the untouchable shit to Vanessa like she wanted. But
And this shit was too much. Like they did it and then they went right back into the Mella's money. Damn near.
well, shit. After a while, that sheet dropping and shit.
Okay, they were like,
He had a whole sheet up there dropping when she comes.
dancing and shit. That reminded me of fucking Tori
Like, where the fuck
Wilson.
you get this sheet from, bitch? What?
That's what it reminded me of. I just need a little place to
Bed
call
Bath and
my
Beyond.
own. Child, I don't know. Bed Bath and Beyond been closing down.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention her finisher would have fit so well. What was her finisher?
It was called The Last Supper.
TLC. That's what it was, Aaliyah. That was a good match, actually. It wasn't stellar, but it was pretty good. It was pretty solid.
It was TLC. Thank you. See, now I'm mad that they cut Vanessa again. At this point, that you gotta roll with what they're doing because they're gonna end up hiring some people back. You have to trust what I'm telling you. Trust me. They're gonna end up hiring people back because they're gonna need to, and they're gonna start all over again.
Tiff, hold on for a second.
Why is he snoring?
That's what I thought I heard.
He fell asleep again.
Get your sleepy ass out.
He does it every time he come in. I think he come in here to go to sleep on purpose.
Okay, we put his like Are we boring you? What the hell?
He
Vanessa
does it
finish
in the
was a
Zoom.
swinging
He goes
side
right to
slam,
sleep.
right? Somebody got to go on YouTube and find it, cause y'all.
I'll send a clip of it in the group chat when the live is over. It's about to be over in about 10 minutes because I have to go to bed.
Good.
I have to get up and work in the morning.
Other people been hired back, but I don't think Vanessa is gonna be one of them. No, unless she worked the indie scene, which I don't know what she's
I don't
doing
know
right now.
about that. She may be. Um, they're gonna need women at some point.
It's gonna be a big influx of women.
And if you ask me, if I was Vanessa, I demand some guarantees. They will have to give me what I want.
Yep.
If I go back, like I think Naya's gonna go back. I think they're gonna grease it. They're gonna smooth thing over with Keith Lee, and he's gonna come back. But it's gonna be a minute before Keith comes back.
I
And
don't know
I
about
think,
Mia.
and hopefully they bring Mia with him, and she comes back, and he makes them give them the opportunities they deserve. I think,
Carrie and Scarlett said they wouldn't mind coming back later
yeah,
down the line, but right now it's a no. Later down the
because
line.
Carrie getting fielded for offers in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They already had a meeting to
Yep. He doing it. Scarlett said she got a little short role somewhere.
Yep.
She's
I
like, it's
know
like 2
people will be
seconds, but I'm
hired
still
back.
in the movie.
Yep. She's like, I'm doing something. Thank you so much.
Good for them. I love that for them.
She said she was gonna work the indies, and she did that Legally Blonde spoof, but nothing ever came of it. She'll get offers. You've seen Scarlett. She'll get something. Wait, y'all think Nia will be back? Nia not gonna do nothing else.
Nia's not gonna do nothing else.
She said she's not gonna wrestle for no other company. She said it plainly on Twitter, loud and clear. Right now, she's not gonna come back because she's trying to deal with something personally and mentally.
When the time
Once
is
that's
right.
cleared out and WWE actually goes back to her and they clear the air with her and talk to her, because they will do it. They'll send Vince to do it. That's how they smooth shit over with Mickey, because he called Mickey personally about her stuff being sent to her in a trash bag.
Yep.
They know what to do. They'll call her back. She'll be back. Give Nia 2-3 years. She'll be back.
She'll be back. After this shit, after the shit show get finished shitting, she'll be back.
Oh, you're talking about Vanessa. Okay. I think Vanessa is somebody that they should bring back.
Yeah, I think she needs a fair shake.
She's somebody I would put in NXT 2.0 for a short stint and then put her right back on the main roster immediately.
Where would you fit her in at?
In NXT 2.0?
You know what? I'll bring her to help Jade.
Yeah.
Cora. What? First of all, Cora Jade is cool, but we couldn't call her CJ.
Oh, I like CJ. That's cute.
Cora is old as hell.
Not Cora old.
Well,
I would get on promos and embarrass that little girl every time I do it. Listen, Cora. Cora.
Well, she is associated. Fire is fire.
Dang. I wish. What's his name? I had some grievances to disclose with him.
She might be asleep on a damn ring. Shit. Anytime she that hoe, she sleep.
Who, Karen Cute? She's
yes.
Why you looking like
hella funny.
She said, "Why you looking like I'm a ham sandwich?" And then she cocked her neck. I'm like, "Ooh, hold on."
She said she's
they know exactly what they doing with Karen Cute.
Like, can you give me one of my juices up there?
She said she's pro wrestler. She still has email bookings.
She has her email bookings, but she's been out of WWE since May.
But at the same time, you got to think, like, people got to be willing to take a chance on her. It's not her per se, but we don't know what she can do. That's all it is. Nobody knows what she can do, what she's capable of. So it's not like...
I think Vanessa could be one of those sleeper cells that will come back.
Yeah.
I really do. And it's not that...
If you ask me, I get in contact right with Chelsea. Because Chelsea, although she is annoying, She making moves. Chelsea's getting shit done.
I can't stand Chelsea.
I will say that Chelsea is
But
getting
I'll
shit
watch
done.
her ass get beat up on TV. I surely
Chelsea
will.
didn't show her face on Impact. She'll been on NWA. She might just
Matt
post for
Cardona
AEW
been
at
running
some point.
around talking shit for. He was like, yeah, WWE was my developmental.
Who
I'm
No.
like, all
said
right,
that?
fam.
Matt Cardona said that.
Yeah.
Sir, shut the fuck
I was like,
up.
okay, babe.
Shut up.
Well, apparently somebody
You just
said
got some
that.
balls because you got fired. Shut the fuck up. Call it what it is. You stepped your shit up because you got fired.
Well,
You realize that shit wasn't permanent. You like, oh, I actually got to do something now.
well, he said he was in jail.
He was
What?
in
Okay,
jail.
now you're out. You're acting like an inmate.
Who was in
We just call
jail?
him inmate.
Just he acting like he was in jail.
I'm
Going
like,
fucking crazy. I hope so.
right.
I got good intuition for some reason. Vanessa been in the back of my mind. So maybe it's a sign. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they're in your mind, but I definitely know they're in mine. Still in they still in characters, outfits, and all that. I don't understand what's going on. I'm scared. I didn't
If
even
they
take
didn't take
WWE.
Vanessa's character arc and take it and make Carmelo do it, Vanessa got something that a lot of people won't. And if
Yep.
I was WWE, I go back to her. I promise her a few runs on the roster. She'd be one of my prominent new girls that would lead us into the next phase of the WWE for the women.
Yep.
She's one of those women that can double as that diva-esque girl, but she still got wrestling prowess, and that's what they want anyway. Which
Somewhere
is
along the
why,
lines of what not Alexa, Alexa can do.
I didn't understand why they fired her to begin with. They didn't believe her. They didn't believe in what she could do. But I know what she's capable of because I remember seeing her on NXT when Gerard made me start watching it. Here, maybe you put that over there.
Yeah, she's not bad. I've seen. I believe Rico knows. She was in the Mae Young Classic, I believe. Um, she didn't have a bad match. When she
He
was with
said,
Leah, she
manifest it
didn't
with
have a
your
bad
Virgo
match.
energy.
What'd he say?
He said, well, Don, manifest that Vanessa come back with your Virgo energy.
I don't know if it's Virgo energy, but they definitely is in my fucking head. When I tell you I predicted all this shit, I predicted all this shit. Nikki going to snapbacks in a bralette with some shorts and them sneakers. I did that. A bitch with blue hair, purple hair. I did that.
Oh, Kenny
Mandy
don't got
Rose.
COVID.
I made Mandy Rose, and my daddy told me to stop doing it because it was gay.
What's came back
I
now?
I
made
can't.
Amanda. Like all this shit that y'all see, Nia Jax, I made her. Like no
Will you
bullshit,
stop?
y'all. I'm so serious. I made these people in this game, and years later they pop up. I'm telling y'all.
She lost the first round against Serena Deeb in the first one.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, it wasn't bad. Her and Serena D put on a decent match.
Oh, God. Oh, my back. All right, y'all. I'm finna go. I'll probably go live again tomorrow. I might be over here because it seemed more chill over here and I can control shit a little bit better. Y'all, I'll
Hope
talk to
D in
y'all
here
later.
tomorrow.
What?
So I hope D gonna be in here tomorrow.
I like it over here better sometimes than I do Instagram because people get kicked out easy. They get kicked out like real bad on Instagram. And I can control this a little bit better, and I really can say what I want, what I need to say over here, and I had to get that shit out. So I really, I just be trying to make people understand. I don't think people understand me. They misconstrued a lot of things. But anyway, y'all make sure y'all follow the page if y'all want to see more lives like this. We're gonna keep talking. Tomorrow I'll probably do some more lifestyle stuff. We're gonna talk about Tristan Thompson and Chloe shit because that's fucking funny.
Nah,
I hate to laugh at people, but it's funny.
It put me on Instagram radar too. Tiffany got me about an extra 1,000 followers. So.
I put you on Insta's radar. What? I was saying because Don Page got like 5,000 followers on his stuff, and I be like, this nigga here. Anyway, we're gonna talk about Tristan. We're gonna talk about Jason Derulo getting mad because niggas thought he was Usher. He got into a whole fight. I don't really know what all of that was about, but I heard that Gunna almost got robbed at the store. So we're gonna talk about a bunch of stuff tomorrow, and we're gonna do therapy Thursday at around 8, so I can get that out the way, and hopefully the wrestling community will be chill tomorrow. We won't have to talk about wrestling too much.
I won't. I got
anyways-
some things to get off my chest.
Fine. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. We'll be back around 8 o'clock. So come on in. You can listen to Don rant and rave for about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good night.